Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast. I'm your host, Corey, and with me today is Mitch. How's it going, Mitch?
It's going pretty good. Pretty excited to be here.
Today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who and all of the Who previews, or what would they call it? Pre-Who's? That's what they should have called it with the puns.
Who views?
Yeah, or something like that. But
Welcome to Whoville.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all the Doctor Who cards, mostly from a commander's perspective, since it's a commander set, commander deck. You get all the cards in the commander deck. They do also have the collector's pack, so you can get all the fancy fucking artworks and stuff. That's your deal. A couple ways to support the podcast. You can listen to us, obviously. Check us out on YouTube and watch the video there. Watch us on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to us.
Spotify's a good one.
Yep. We have a Patreon if you want to support us directly in a monetarily way. You could do that with all sorts of cool perks like playing Commander games with us and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so we're going to jump in, talk about Doctor Who stuff. So what's the first card we got?
First card we got is, I believe it's Atos Offspring.
What does that do?
A 4 mana, 3 colorless, 1 white, 2/2 alien creature. It has emerge, 5 colorless and 1 white. You may cast a spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's mana value. When the offspring enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white alien creature token. If Atos Offspring's emerge cost was paid, instead create X of those tokens, where X is a sacrifice creature's toughness.
So it comes in and makes a 2/2, so you get 2 2/2s for 4 mana.
Which isn't very good, in my opinion.
But if you emerge it, you can get a shitload of 2/2s, depending on how big the creature was.
Yeah, I actually think this is a pretty decent card. And it's a pretty decent card for a few of the token commanders. Any card that has a big butt, basically, you're going to be happy with this.
Yeah.
But you need at least, 5 colorless to pay 1 and get a bunch of tokens, but the X being its butt of the toughness is going to be, you're going to get a lot of 2/2s. It's a pretty decent card.
Well, if you sacked a 2/2 for it, you would just get 2 2/2s, so it'd be 6 of power for 6. It's not horrible.
Nope.
So realistically, you just want something that's like 3, 4, 5, or crazy.
Yeah. You get something with like an 8 defense, you're looking pretty good. You're going to get 8 2/2s. So
especially if you have doubling season or something out.
Oh yeah. You add in doubling season stuff like that. You're talking a good card. So I think it's a comeback card.
All right, so one's good. Next up, we got Arrid Pth. 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature human. Whenever it attacks or enters the battlefield, you create a food token. And whenever you sacrifice a clue or food, you explore, which is reveal a top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And then you could put the card back or in your graveyard.
It's an okay card because of the cost. 2 mana, 2/2, enters the battlefield or attacks, create a food token. So it's not bad, and it has some good applications with when you sacrifice a clue or food. Exploring seems pretty good. So
yeah, Explore is a good because it's kind of like Surveil, but if it's lands, you can like draw it basically. I don't know, if you played mono white, because this could be your commander, right? So if you play this, you would be a food deck basically, or some sort of token clue food mashup, and it would be decent ramp at least.
Yeah, especially white's pretty good at ramp. It's got some pretty good cards for it. So
yeah,
I think it's an okay card.
Yeah,
it can fit in because of its low mana cost. It can fit in a lot of decks.
How good is the Explorers, basically? Because, I mean, like, if say you just stick this in your deck where you have a bunch of food or clues already.
Well, then it's good. If you already have a bunch of food and clues, if you don't really have much and you're relying on this for food tokens, it's not very good.
So you think it's better in the 99 of a deck that already makes food includes?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
the best. No, but I think it's pretty decent.
Okay. What's the next card do?
All right. The next card is called Barbara Wright. It's a 2-mana 1/3 legendary creature, human advisor. Has the ability History Teacher. Sagas you control have read ahead. As the saga enters the battlefield, choose a chapter and start with that many lore counters. Skip chapters don't trigger. It also has Doctor's Companion, so if you have 2 commanders, if the other is the Doctor.
Yeah, what was that? Dominaria? They put read ahead in there, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Dominaria. Yep.
Yeah, so you can start so if you have a saga deck, you can start. So this is good in a saga deck because you can just choose you can skip the modes you don't want, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be your companion if you also have a doctor. You can have 2 commanders, then basically, like
Let's
your partner
see.
commanders.
What is a saga color scheme? What is that? Do you know?
Most of them are 5 color.
Oh, okay. So who else would you have for the commander? Because it has to be a Time Lord.
Oh, so for the doctors, I haven't looked at which one you would play.
Okay, if you can fit that in, I think it's pretty decent to have as a companion.
Yeah, so I don't know
Absolutely.
what doctor builds around sagas, but there is a saga deck already that's 5 color
Mm-hmm.
that this could go in the 99 of.
Yeah,
Just with the read
absolutely,
ahead
absolutely.
card.
It could go in there. I was just trying to think if the companion would be better than that other one. I'm sure it's not, but it's pretty. It's okay for
Yeah,
that
I
kind of thing.
think the other one copies. I think the one that currently like copies your sagas
Mm-hmm.
chapters abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what the commander does
Oh,
currently.
I see. I see.
So I don't know if any of the doctors are better than that.
Oh, Tom Bombadil.
Yeah,
Okay, that one's really good.
yeah. Tom Bombadil would be the best one, I think.
Yeah, it still can slot in there.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next one, Corey?
We got Kraken Time. It's 3 and a white for an enchantment. Vanishing's back.
Oh,
Vanishing
wow.
3. So enters with 3 time counters on it. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you remove a time counter on it. And when the last one's removed, you sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
this card. So when it enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target creature an opponent controls until Kraken Time leaves the battlefield. So it's kind of like, I'm going to slowly remove your things basically every turn until this goes away.
It seems okay for 4 mana, and at least in Commander, there are a lot better options. I suppose if you, well, I don't know. This card is just super mediocre to me for a rare.
So how good is it if you can keep adding counters to it and just make it so it's always removed?
If you can keep adding counters to it, it can be pretty decent. But I feel like the setup is pretty difficult. Like it's like not worth at that point. I suppose what's the ability that you can put a counter of each type on everything?
Proliferate.
Proliferate. Yeah,
Yeah.
if
So
you have
like
it
if
in a
you could,
proliferate deck, it can be pretty decent.
yeah, like
There's not much investment. Yeah,
because how good basically is 4 mana remove a creature every turn? That's pretty good.
beginning of pre-combat main phase.
Yeah.
It can be pretty good. Yeah, and especially in Commander, if you have that style deck, I could see it being okay in there.
Yeah, outside of that though, it's bad, right? Like just playing it
Yes.
with no support.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
you remove 4 things or 3 things, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because the one's going to be gone. So 3 things for like a couple turns, and that's it. And then they're back.
Right,
And now with everything having ETBs and shit, it's just bad.
right, and most of those proliferate decks have poison, so they're
Yeah.
kind of focusing on something else. So I don't know. Kind of seems bad. You
Yeah,
open this in a pack.
it would be better if you could at least target your own stuff to re-trigger ETBs, but you can't even do that. You have to target opponent's stuff.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, this card's just not great.
Yeah, you're gonna open this in a pack, and you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the damn it card. I got that.
Yeah,
again.
exactly. All right, so we have Crisis of Conscience. It's a 6 mana sorcery. It has choose one, destroy all tokens, destroy all non-land, non-token permanents. I think this card is pretty good. Destroy all is always welcome, and since it has an option of what to destroy in a token deck, this is fantastic. In a deck, if your play group has a lot of tokens, or like you're playing against them, this is a good card.
Yeah, it's good against token decks. It's better in token decks, I think, because it's one-sided. It's going to kill all of your opponent's stuff and not yours.
Yeah. It's a great card. It's a little expensive for 6 mana, but I feel like in Commander that's totally fine.
Yeah,
And the artwork is boss.
Play 1 to 2 wraths in your decks nowadays, anyway. So
Yep, absolutely.
oh yeah, the artwork is sick, like with all the Daleks behind them fighting.
Yep. It's a great scene in the show. So
next up, we got Everybody Lives, which I think is going to be one of the sought-after cards here. 1 and a white for an instant. All creatures gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Players gain hexproof until end of turn. Players can't lose life this turn, and players can't lose the game or win the game this turn.
Yeah, this card is an absolute house. This is like Teferi's Protection, but 2 mana. This is fantastic. This is insane. I mean, there's nothing more to say
than Angel's Grace stapled on as Teferi's Protection.
Right. Like, it doesn't have split second, but it doesn't need split second. If you just know how to play your spells right, you're going to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's just going to be one of those cards that everybody's going to want for their
You can stick this on Isochron Scepter and feel really good about yourself.
That's so bad.
I'm kind of thinking about it in my Derevi deck.
Man. Isochron on this is ridiculous.
I know. That's good. And then if you have it in Derevi, you play Derevi, you can untap it, tap it again if need be. I tell you, this is good. And you can tell that it's going to be good just based off the prices of the card itself. So yeah. That's a good rare. You open that, you're going to be happy. Tell you.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. This is a chase card, right? What's the Commander deck is that in? I don't know. It's whatever one it's in, that's going to be the highest selling one, probably.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But it is good. It's a good card. I don't even know what that's from in the show, but that's great. All right. Next card. Everything Comes to Dust. It's a 10 mana, 3 white, 7 colorless. It has Convoke. Exile all creatures except those that share a creature type with a creature that convoke this spell. All artifacts and all enchantments. Anything to say about this?
So you exile all creatures, exile all artifacts and all enchantments, but you have to keep the ones that share creature types with what you convoke it. So it's kind of good in a typal deck, right? Or a tribal deck, whatever you want to call it.
Right, or even I was thinking of a token deck. What's the token deck that James runs?
Riss with the L.
Riss is that's a great deck because he's running tokens that nobody else has that creature type, and it's going to keep all his tokens on the board.
True. I mean, he just taps 7 L's, and this is a 3 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing is or this thing's colors, and his tokens are green, white in that deck. So
exactly.
Tap 9 creatures.
Right, and they're creature types that nobody else is going to have. So it's fantastic. This is a great card. This might be better than the other one, you know?
Yeah, it actually might be better than that other board wipe.
Mm-hmm. Actually, thinking about it, it probably is. Is the other one exile? Because this one's exile. The other one's destroy.
No, the other one's destroy, yeah.
Oh, absolutely better. Especially in Commander.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got 4 Nox, 2 and a white for an enchantment with Vanishing 4. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, draw a card.
This is an excellent card. White needs draw. 3 mana, enchantment, Vanishing 4. You're going to draw 4 cards. Great card.
Yep, great card. And if you do have a proliferate or something, you draw more cards.
Yep. I mean, it's just straight and simple. Good card. Go a lot of decks. Anything white, basically.
Yep.
All right. Then on for the next one here.
Yep.
All right, we got Ian Chesterton. All right, 3 mana, 2/3, legendary creature, human scientist. His ability is Science Teacher. Each saga spell you cast has Replicate. The Replicate cost is equal to its mana cost. And it has Doctor's Companion, so you can have this as your commander as long as you have a doctor as the other commander.
Yeah, again, I don't know if there's a doctor for sagas or not. But
if we find out there is, there's probably a deck here.
Yeah, there's probably a Saga deck with the Doctor, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, in like a Tom Bombadil, just giving replicate to Sagas is pretty crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So you
this
could
could
just
stick right in there.
cast something multiple times. Like, I mean, just playing there's like a 2 or 3 mana Saga that like buffs for every artifact enchantment in play. If you just copied that like 4 times, you're just gonna win the game. Like,
Oh,
just gonna give something
absolutely.
like plus +1,billion.
Yep, yep. God, there's a lot of good sagas to be doing that too. The Eldest Reborn.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
cheap
there's a lot.
ones, like too, like all the
Yeah, yep,
uncommon ones from the what was that Kamigawa?
yep. Kamigawa, the Kami War. Oh well, that's going to be super good if you have it with the Kami War.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we got Joe Grant. It's 2 and a white for a 3/2 legendary creature, human soldier. Each historic card in your hand has cycling 2 and a white. Whenever you cycle a card, put up a +1 counter on it, and it can be a companion with the Doctor.
I think this card is just okay. 3 mana, 3/2 is decent stats, like just okay. The historic, it has to go in a cycling deck, but I feel like cycling decks aren't very good. So
Yeah, what the cycling deck that came out with was that Ixalan?
mm-hmm. I
Or not
believe this.
Ixalan, Ikoria.
Oh yeah, Psychoria.
The Ikoria ones. This I guess would help in that deck because you get 1/1 counters, like a little bit more supports because you can give your historic cards cycling because that deck has a problem with having enough cycling cards sometimes that are
I
good.
guess, yeah. If you
So you could
change the
play like
commander,
you could play like Mana Rocks with this, you know.
yeah, it's still just
But
okay.
yeah,
If you're really desperate for cycling, then it has to slot into a cycling deck. But just you know, point blank as the card, it's not very good.
I mean, how good though? Consider this. How good? Like, how many Mana Rocks do you play in an average day? Like
Oh
10.
god, like 10, yeah, 10.
So how good is it to just be able to draw one of those late game and just cycle it away?
Yeah,
Because
I suppose you draw your Sol Ring late game. You don't need the
like if you
mana
draw it on
to
turn
cycle it,
10, it's not good. Like
and that's it's okay. It's still
yeah.
just okay.
But it's still only an okay card because this would have to be on the board. So
Yeah, exactly. And it's just 3/2
like
for like imagine spending 3 mana for a 3/2 to cycle the card 2 for
right.
3 to
Right.
draw. Like it's just okay at point blank. Unless there's something I'm missing where it's like there's more stuff that can go with this. It's
Yeah,
just
you
okay.
definitely need to put this in a cycling deck, and there's only like one deck that's remotely playable, I think. So this goes in that deck, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next card we have is Perry Brown. I believe that's how you pronounce that. 4 mana, 2/3, legendary creature, human. The first historic spell you cast each turn has Convoke. It also has Doctor's Companion. Just reading that, I haven't really looked much into the set. That's a great card.
Yeah, Convoke is super good. Um, you don't realize how good Convoke is until you played with it with whatever that most recent set was, where like they had all of them. Convoke came back.
I mean, you don't know how good it is until you start convoking your spells, and then you're like,
Right, that's what I'm
real
saying. Like
good.
once you play with it, because you're just like, oh, this is a 6 mana spell. That sucks. Oh, but I have Convoke, so it's already like 4 and tap 2 creatures.
Right.
Like,
Right. Once again, in a token deck, this is your card. This is an excellent card, especially historic because that's legendary, that's artifact, stuff like that. That's great. This is a great card.
yeah, you're gonna be playing all your bombs for cheap or your mana rocks for cheaper.
Yeah, this is a very very good card. It's a 4 mana card, so it's a little spendy, but it's good. And the Doctor's Companion, I don't really think you need it in a commander deck. This is just good standalone.
Yeah.
So
Next up is Romana 2.
I think so. Romana the Second.
Romana the second, yeah. 3 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, Time Lord Scientist with Vigilance. It has pay 1 and tap it. Create a tap token that's a copy of target token that entered the battlefield this turn, and it can companion with the Doctor.
This card, in my opinion, is just okay. Again, if it had Vigilance and Haste, it'd be an excellent card. But because you have to wait a turn to use it too,
Yeah, you have to
it's
play
okay.
it, wait a turn, create a token, make a copy of that token.
That'd be kind of cool. Some cool setup if you can get the 2020 indestructible. create a copy
Yeah.
of it, but it has to. I don't know. It's a little slow to me.
Or if you have like doubling season,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you play the new what's the new card Yenna that can
yep,
copy enchantments. You copy doubling season, then make a copy of doubling season with this.
yeah. It can get out of hand,
But
but it also has to. It doesn't have haste, so you can't just. I mean, unless you put like lightning greaves or something on that, but it seems like a lot of setup for a 4 mana card.
yeah,
I feel like I can be doing better things with 4 mana.
it's kind of like would you rather have a 4 mana 3/3 with pay one tap do this, or the what is Riss is the 6 mana ability just copies all tokens that are in play.
Yeah.
Like that's just better, I think.
Well, doesn't Risk copy creature tokens?
It might just be creature tokens, yeah, but it copies all of them in play.
Right. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, I guess with vigilance it's pretty decent though because you can attack then do that tap thing. But I just wish it had haste. Of course, then it'd be red white probably.
Yeah.
Okay, the next card we have here is Rose Tyler. It's a classic character from the Doctor Who series. 2 mana, 2/2, legendary creature, human. Rose Tyler gets +1/+1 for each time counter on it. Bad Wolf. Whenever Rose Tyler attacks, put a time counter on it for each suspended card you own and each other permanent you control with a time counter on it. It also has Doctor's Companion.
So in a suspend deck, this is going to be fucking beefy.
Yeah, if there is a good suspend deck, which I'm sure there is because
yeah, I'm pretty
the
sure
commanders.
that one of the doctors deal with
This
suspend.
this is a good card. It's low cost. It's going to get 1/1 for every time counter on it. And when you attack, you put a time counter on it for each suspended card you own. That's a great card. It's going to grow and grow and grow and grow. Especially because some of those time counters, you're going to have 5, 6 counters on it.
Right.
At least I would assume so.
Well, yeah, because I mean, so if you have two things in suspended, which is not that hard.
No.
Right. You attack with this, it's a 4/4, and the next time it's going to be a 6/6, like until those things come into play.
I mean, what?
Suspend another thing.
What's the Ancestral Visions? It's like, what, that's suspend 4?
Yeah, like 4
That's
turns.
4 counters on there, so you play that turn 1. Turn 2, you play
thing,
this.
It's each thing you have suspended.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, turn 2, you play this, and possibly with, like, Sol Ring or something, you're going to suspend another card. That's 2 cards, so it's going to be a 4/4 when it attacks next turn, or 5/5. That's a great card.
Yeah, and if somehow you have another card that gets time counters, this also will get from that.
Yep, this is a good card. Good beat stick.
It's gonna grow huge.
Doesn't have much for protection, but if you can get it out fast because it's 2 mana, it's going to be good.
It's pretty good artwork. It's like exactly from the show almost.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
Next we got Sarah Jane Smith, another classic character. 1 and a white for a 2/1 legendary creature, human detective. Whenever you cast a historic spell, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn. And again, historic is artifact, legendary sagas. And when you investigate, you make a clue token, which is an artifact with pay 2, sack it, draw a card. And then it has Doctor's Companion.
It's not bad because it's 2 mana, 2/1. Is it amazing? No, but you're gonna get clue tokens. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I think it's better if you have instant speed artifacts and legendaries.
Yes,
because then you can get the trigger on everyone's turn instead of just yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of setup for that, but it's decent if you can do that. Just 2 mana, 2/1. Not bad stats. It can get you extra things. I guess not much to say there. Let's see. This next card is Tegan Jovanka. If I pronounce that right. 3 mana, 2/2, legendary creature, human. It has the ability Braveheart. Whenever you attack, target attacking historic creature gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible until end of turn. It also has Doctor's Companion.
I mean, 3 mana. Well, it's any, right? You could target itself.
Yep.
So worst case, it's a 3 mana 3/3 indestructible. That's not bad.
I think it's pretty decent as a beat stick, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it works well with the companion,
Yeah.
I mean
even if you're trying to do Voltron, you could just like a 3 mana 3/3 commander swinging at you at someone every turn isn't bad.
Oh yeah, I mean Yeah, absolutely. You could even just stick this in the deck that is Voltron just to get that extra protection, Give this
Yeah,
Lightning Greaves, or I guess Lightning Greaves is pretty good, but the Indestructible is great.
right. It's pretty good. It's just a beat stick.
Yeah, yep. And it's cheap. The Caves of Andran. All right. It's a saga. It's a 3 colorless, 1 white saga. And the first on it is put 2 stun counters on each of up to 2 target tapped creatures. The second and third are for each non-saga permanent. Choose a counter on it. You may put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. And for number 4, search your library for a doctor card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. It seems okay to get to 4. I don't know. There's that other one that you get to do the other abilities for the sagas. I mean, I don't know if I'd put it in Tom Bombadil, but
Stun 2 things.
Yep.
And then proliferate, basically, that are not
Right, or
sagas.
you could additional stun is probably what its intention is.
Yeah.
And
And then get a doctor card. So you have to be able to use all the modes effectively.
Right. And my problem with this is it doesn't put it into play. It puts it in your hand, the doctor card.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a little high costing for what it does, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty weak.
If it was like 2 mana, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Or even 3 mana, it might still be good because tapping 2 creatures for a turn and proliferate for 2 turns. I don't know. Seems okay, but not amazing. If you're on a budget, you can use this.
Yeah, right. Next up, we got the Girl in the Fireplace, 2 and a white for a saga. Chapter 1. Create a 1/1 white human noble creature token with vanishing 3 and prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature. Chapter 2. Create a 2/2 white horse creature token with doctors you control have horsemanship.
Oh, I love it.
And Chapter 3. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, time travel, which is basically you can just remove time counters from the suspended things.
Well, anything that has to do with horsemanship, I'm okay with. Love it.
I mean, yeah, if you have a deck with a bunch of doctors in it, right? Just 2/2 and makes your shit unblockable.
Yeah, and comparing this one to the last one, this is 1,000 times better. You're getting a 1/1 white human. It's got vanishing, but it prevents all damage to be dealt to this creature. You have a great blocker for 3 turns.
Yeah.
It's making a doctor of horsemanship, and you get a 2/2 white horse.
Yep.
And then whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, time travel. It's a pretty decent card. The last ability is like whatever if you're just sticking it in a random deck, but the first 2 I think are great.
I mean, because even like a token deck, right? Like if you have like populate, like 3 mana, get a 1/1 and a 2/2 is pretty good.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude, that 1/1 with prevent all damage to be dealt to this creature that's fantastic.
Yeah, especially if you have a way to like keep making copies of it before it vanishes.
Right. Or redirect all damage. What's that? Shield of Pariah? That's great.
Yeah.
A little expensive, but good. So, all right, we have the Knight of the Doctor, 6 mana saga. All right, the first, is it chapter?
Yeah, it's chapters.
Okay, so the first chapter is destroy all creatures. Already pretty cool. And then the second chapter is return target legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put your choice of a first strike, vigilance, or lifelink counter on it. I think this card is pretty good. It's a little expensive, but you're getting the destroy all right away.
Yeah, 6 mana wrath that then you get the best thing back from your graveyard.
Yep.
With a little bit with a slight buff.
Yep. I mean, first strike is pretty good. I think like vigilance is pretty good, or even lifelink. If you stick this in a lifelink deck, you're looking pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. It's probably that one and the last saga were pretty good for white saga. So
yeah, it's a solid saga.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up we got the Pandora, 2 and a white for a legendary artifact. You may choose not to untap it during your untap step. It has pay 1 and a white, tap, untap another target non-land permanent. Then it phases out. It can't phase in for as long as Pandora remains tapped. And when the Pandora becomes untapped or leaves the battlefield, that permanent phases back in. Activate this ability only as a sorcery.
Honestly, I kind of like this card. It sets up some really cool combos. And I mean, I guess I don't know combo per se, but more like, all right, I'm going to phase out my best creature. I'm going to blow up the board so everybody's stuff is dead, and then my creature comes back in. I think this card has potential.
Yeah, you can protect your own stuff. You can also just like O-ring the best thing on the board for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely use this card.
It's also good flavor because in the show, like they get trapped in there. Like,
yep. Yeah, I think it's a very good card, and it's a low cost 3 mana and only 2 to tap. It's great.
That's a very good card, especially for white.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it fits for white right away. Like it's pretty good. Might stick that in my Derevi. It's good. All right, we got another saga here. The War Games. We got 4 mana saga. Chapter 1 is each player creates 3 tapped 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. The tokens are goaded for as long as the War Games remains on the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on each warrior creature. You may exile a non-token creature you control. When you do, exile all warriors. I don't know how I feel about this.
First off, I hate goad.
Yeah, I know you do.
So, okay, everyone gets a 1/1. Or everyone gets 3 1/1s.
3 1/1s. Each player.
Yep. Then they're all 2/2s. Then they're all 3/3s. And they're goaded so they have to attack and can't attack. You.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of expensive.
I guess they can't hit you with it, right?
Right.
So they can only hit the opponents?
Yeah, I mean, it's forcing everyone to attack, but, like, they're not very big or dangerous.
Right. They're just going to get jumped. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It's kind of dumb. Like, I think it's bad.
If it was 2 mana and you're doing, like, 2 1/1s or something, maybe it's okay, but...
I mean, unless you're playing against a warrior tribal deck and you're just like, oh, I exile warriors.
I guess, yeah. I guess. Let's bring it back to warriors. It's not very good.
It's not good. I don't think it's good.
No, that's going to be another card you get and you're like, why is this in the deck? All right, the next card is the Wedding of River Song. Or are you supposed to read this one?
Okay, the Wedding of River Song.
Sorry.
2 and a white for a sorcery. Draw 2 cards, then you may exile a non-land card from your hand with the number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. Then target opponent does the same. Cards exiled this way that don't have suspend gain suspend, and then time travel. For each suspended card you own and each permanent you control the time counter on it, you may add or remove a counter.
I don't know how to feel about this card. It's a white draw, so...
So you draw 2, and then you suspend a card, and then your opponent gets a suspended card.
Having your opponents draw cards isn't very good.
Well, your opponent doesn't draw.
Oh, they just suspend a card from their hand.
They just suspend a card from their hand.
I guess it's okay then. 3 mana, draw 2 cards, and you suspend, and they don't.
They get to suspend 1 card too.
Yeah, they do, but they don't draw cards. So
yeah, they don't draw the cards though. So it's you drawing 2, and then you both get to put something with suspend counters equal to its CMC.
Yeah,
and you do get sped up with the time.
Yeah, you do. They don't. So then it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's white card draw.
It's only drawing 1 card because you have to, you're losing a card by playing this card. So
yeah. So you net 1 card and a card suspended. Basically, you get to cast for 0 mana in a few turns.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, you top deck this, you do this, you draw 2 cards, and they're both land. You're just like, oh shit. But that's white doesn't have much for draw, so in that regard, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
But I don't know.
If you draw 2 lands, yeah, you're whiffing. If you draw anything that's so if you get like a 2 mana spell, you're basically just casting it for free.
Right.
Because you'll get it on your next upkeep.
Yep. But then again, your 2 mana spell, how good is that going to be?
Right. if you get like a 10 drop, it's like, well, I'd rather just not have that suspended because I can cast it with my 8 mana or whatever.
And if you're already ahead, like a 3 mana draw 2 just seems like meh. And while you are suspending, your opponent is also suspending, which might not actually be good for you, because if it's suspend 1 and then
Yeah, I
get it
guess
on their
I
upkeep,
guess it really depends.
letting your opponent have choices doesn't seem good.
I don't know. I haven't. I don't think I can try. Every scenario I think of keeps making this worse and worse. So
I know. We're only thinking of the bad scenarios.
I feel like it's not that good. Though. Like, right?
What's a good scenario? All right, you're top decking. Oh my god, I'm behind. I need to draw cards.
You
draw
draw two
this.
good cards, and then you get one for free. Like, but
Right.
like you get a 1 mana spell for free.
We've just played enough Commander to know that doesn't happen.
Well, even if you do, what 2 mana card is going to save it? Even if it's like a 3 mana card, you got to wait a few turns. Like you could just cast that by the time you have it because you have 3 mana anyway.
Right.
I mean, I guess is you may. So I guess it's just a draw 2. You could just literally just divination. You don't have to suspend, I guess.
Yeah, and then in that regard, it's just okay.
So you could literally just divination and
Just
white. You get your opponent can suspend a card then though.
Right. If this was an instant, I'd say that it would be a lot better.
Yeah, it's better as an instant for sure.
Yeah, because especially if you use it on your opponent's turn and they had 1 card on their hand, they have to suspend it. Is it a have to for them?
But here's the thing: yeah, they have to suspend it if they want. If
they have a card that can't be suspended.
Wait, you may.
I don't think so. I think they have a choice too.
Then your opponent
and target opponent does the same, which is May.
Wait, they do the same. Does that mean they have
so they draw 2 also? I think so. I don't think this card is good, dude. Draw 2 cards, then you may exile a non-land card from your hand with a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. Then target opponent does the same. They draw 2 cards. This card is terrible. I knew it.
This card's bad.
You don't want your opponent ever drawing cards if you can help it.
Yeah, it's bad. I can't do it.
I
can't make it work. It's bad.
No.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So long.
Goodbye.
Next card.
All right. We have Trial of a Time Lord. 3 mana saga. 2 whites and a colorless. So the first, second, and third chapter are exile target non-creature token and opponent controls until Trial of a Time Lord leaves the battlefield. And the fourth one is, starting with you, each player votes for innocent or guilty. If innocent gets more votes, the owner of each card exiled with Trial of a Time Lord puts that card onto the bottom of their library. That's a lot of text for a lot of nothing, in my opinion. So you have 3 turns of exiling target non-token creature and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. And then, starting with you, each player votes for innocent or guilty. If guilty gets more votes, the owner of each card exiled puts them.
Yeah, but if innocent gets more votes, they just stay exiled, right? Oh no, they come back because because this leaves.
Yeah, it's 3 mana for a whole. I mean, 3 turns of holding something, I guess, but it seems like 3 mana for a whole lot of nothing.
I mean, if you're politics and you can always get the guilty, maybe, but
yeah, you got to be real convincing, Broseph.
Or if you have the deck where you get 2 votes.
I guess. I only wrote this. Put them on the bottom. I mean, putting cards on the bottom of players' libraries is a good thing. That's good.
So if you always were able to get guilty, a 3 mana remove 3 things, put 3 things on the bottom, how good is that?
That's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You got indestructible, stuff like that. It's pretty decent. It doesn't work with commanders anymore since rule change a million years ago, but
it's medium, and you have to be in like a political get extra votes type deck anyway. Like in that deck, you might play it.
And it's exile target non-token creature and opponent controls. It's not like for each opponent, so you only get 3 things. It's not very good. If this costed 2 mana, it would totally be good, but it's 3 mana.
Next up, we got Wilfred M. 3 and a white for a 2/4 legendary creature human soldier. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on him. Then look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of time counters on him. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Actually, I think this card is pretty decent. I mean, he's 4 mana, 2/4. It's kind of a little spendy, but
Forming a 2/4. First turn, you're going to look at the top one card, put something 3
Yep.
or less into play, then 2 cards, then 3 cards. And so it's going to exponentially become better.
I mean, you combine this with the GT, it's looking real good because you can just put GT, on the battlefield after drawing a card.
Yeah.
I mean, not GT. Sensei's Divining Top. My bad.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's good if you have ways to set this up. You can, but it's only 3 or less, so
It's pretty good.
it is still pretty good.
It's kind of like a Sun Titan-ish type deck.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, this could probably go in. What's the Blink deck that James runs? What's that commander?
Brago.
Brago. It could probably fit in a Brago deck, maybe.
Yeah.
Because a lot
I
of
mean, you
stuff
could play
costs
this as a
3 or less.
commander too, and just play all 3 CMC or less cards in your deck,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're always going to hit unless it's a land.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just thinking he is good with Sensei's Divining Top because you keep putting top on top,
yeah, he's busted with
and then you
top.
just it's like free draw every turn.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty decent with that. And there's other cards like that too. So okay, that one's all right. All right, next up we have Adric, Mathematical Genius. It's a 2-mana 1/1 legendary creature, human artificer, 1 blue, 1 colorless. It has 1 blue and 2 colorless. Tap it, so 3 mana. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Ultimate Sacrifice. It's 2 mana, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Sacrifice him. Counter target activated or triggered ability. Also, Doctor's Companion. This is the first time I read this card. This is a great card. I like everything I see on here.
2 mana 1/1 that can copy triggers.
Yep.
Or activated abilities. Or you can sack it to counter one of them. It's pretty good. It's a solid blue card.
No, it's a really good card. You put that in the one that you double your triggers. You have infinite.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is an excellent card, and that's the right colors for it. And you can sacrifice them to counter target activated or triggered ability. This is.
I mean, I guess it's really good because you could have that in your command zone. Just have a counter and ability in your command zone.
Yeah. And yeah, an ultimate sacrifice. You don't have to tap it or anything, so you can do it right away.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got no stats for anything, but he's got all the abilities for everything. So I like it.
Yeah, but you like Stifle a lot, so that's what.
I do. I love counters. I can't deny that. Well, and that whole activated or triggered ability it's so unique. It's so good. Me like you.
Next up, we got All of History, all at once. 2 blue for a sorcery. Time travel. So for each suspended card you own and each permanent you own with a time counter on it, you may add or remove a time counter. And it has Storm, so you copy it for each spell cast before it.
Well, a card like this for 4 mana with Storm, it's got to be good. Time travel, you can totally set something up. It has potential. This is a good card.
I mean, so with this is where that white card, if you suspended like an 11 drop or something, suspend something with 11 time counters, right? And it means you got to get your Storm count to like 10, and then you just play it for everything that's suspended. I mean, it's still pretty good. Like if you could get like 3-4 things suspended and then just play this, and you get to cast them all immediately that turn.
Even like I'm thinking, if you have like 10 things suspended, you get 4 of them. You play this, like, and then you copy it with something else. Like, oh man, you got Storm on Storm. You're playing your everything suspended.
Yeah, that's true.
Storm is always good. It's dangerous to print.
Storm can be good, yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was an instant though, but a sorcery, it makes sense. Got to nerf it a little bit, huh?
I mean, instant would be really crazy because you just play it around your opponent's turn.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's so good.
Like your opponent's storming off, and you're just like, okay.
With suspended cards?
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. I want to make that now. I'm going to make that turn into an instant. I know there's ways to do it. So.
Yep.
Well, that's going to be in the craft theory.
The LOTR-themed, there you go.
Yep. There we go. All right. Next up, we have an Unearthly Child. 2 blue and a colorless saga. It has the first chapter, second chapter, and third chapter. Reveal from the top of your library until you reveal a doctor card, a card with Doctor's Companion, or a vehicle card, and put that card in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card is not that bad. It's 3 mana, reveal until you get one of those things. If you set it up right, where you only have one of each of those, or just one doctor, and you need it, you're going to get it.
Yeah, it's also good in just like if you have a Doctor Tribal deck or a vehicle deck, like take some blue-white vehicles, just draw a card basically.
Yep.
Draw 3 for 3 is not bad.
Yep. So if it's on the bottom of your deck, you go through the whole deck, grab it, put everything back in the library. It's great. That's a great card. And you get to do it 3 times.
Yep.
Very good.
Next up is Auton Soldier. 4 blue for a 0/0 alien soldier artifact creature.
Sweet creature type, by the way. Alien Soldier.
Alien Soldier. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except for it's not legendary, and is an artifact in addition to its other types, and has Myriad.
So it's a good card. It's a little expensive, but with the Myriad, I think it makes up for it.
It's also nice because you can copy any creature. It doesn't have to be yours. So if someone plays a freaking bomb, you're like, guess what? Now I have one and I can swing at you with it, and then everybody's getting attacked with it.
Like somebody plays Crater Hoof to kill somebody else. Well, now you're playing Crater Hoof, and it has Myriad.
Yeah, you're hoofing everyone.
It's really good. Yeah, it's good in that regard. But 6 mana is still a little steep, but it is. I think the Myriad makes up for it.
Yeah, it definitely is situational. Like, there's going to be situations where it just wins you the game. There's going to be situations where it's just sitting there as like a dead card.
Yep, you're going to get a Llanowar.
You're going to be like, oh, I don't want to copy my 1-drop. Like,
yeah, like, I guess I'm copying Llanowar. It's got Myriad. Watch out. But it's still pretty decent, I think. Is it needed to be included in every deck? I don't know, but okay. Next, we have Become the Pilot. It's a 5 mana with 2 blue, so 5 total. Enchantment aura. Enchant non-commander creature. You control enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and can't be blocked unless it's attacking its owner or a permanent its owner controls. So 5 mana.
Well, so you get to steal a creature for 5 mana.
Yep.
And then it gets +2/+2 and is unblockable until you're 1/1. Then it's just +2/+2.
Can't be blocked unless it's attacking its owner. Yeah, it's still okay. I feel like controlling enchanted creatures is just not very good. For 5 mana, that's a lot.
I mean, isn't Confiscate just 5 mana?
Confiscate, but nobody runs Confiscate.
I know, but that's a better card, right?
Yeah, because that's a
anything.
Yeah, I think that's a permanent.
Yeah, anything for 5 mana, I think.
Yep.
So then that's just better.
Yep, it is. So, but and this doesn't gain haste either. So
no.
Like there's red cards that you gain until end of turn, and
I mean it'd be kind of funny to play this on like a Blightsteel and kill somebody with it, but
yeah, but it doesn't have haste.
No, it doesn't have haste. You have to wait a whole turn.
Yeah, it just seems super bad.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that good. I don't think it's good.
Nope.
Next up, we got Cyber Conversion. Blue for an instant. Turn target creature face down. It becomes a 2/2 Cyberman artifact creature.
Love it. Instant 2/2. Turn it face down. So you're already like turning off whatever. Like Blightsteel, indestructible. Who cares? It's a Cyberman now.
Yep, it's Cyberman now. The only way that this is bad is if you're going against like the Morph deck. And they just flip it back up.
Wait, can they just flip it up? Doesn't it have to have a Morph cost?
No, it does. That's what I'm saying. So like,
yeah.
The only way that it's bad is if the card
had Morph already. Yeah, like it's like it's already got Morph.
Like if you're going against the Morph deck is the only time this is bad.
I would still do it because then they have to pay for the Morph cost.
Yeah, but they get whatever the effect is again.
True. I think this is better than Frogify and stuff.
Yeah, it's very good. This is
Yep.
like a really good blue removal spell.
I agree. And if you just check the price, it seems other people agree.
Yeah.
All right, next we have Danny Pink. 3 colorless, 1 blue. It is a legendary creature, Human Soldier Advisor. It has Mentor, which is whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. And creatures you control have, whenever one or more counters are put onto this creature for the first time each turn, draw a card. 4 mana, 4/3, Mentor.
I think it's better in a proliferate blue type deck where you play it out and you proliferate on all of your creatures, and it's one or more on and then so then if you have like 5 creatures, you're drawing 5 cards.
Yeah. Whenever
That's the only
attacks.
time it's good, right? Because when for the first time a counter's put on it each turn, all your creatures have that. You draw a card.
Yeah, for 4 mana, draw 5 cards. If you can get that going, it's pretty good. But
Yeah,
otherwise, I
mean
say
it's good in like 1/1 counter tribal deck with blue. So 1/1 counter deck with blue in it.
I mean, maybe someone will comment, but what deck is that?
There is a couple. There is a couple. Like you
Okay.
could be playing the Simic one. There's a couple Simic ones.
Oh, I suppose Simic.
And then there's
Simic would be good with that.
There's the blue guy that doubles all counters on something.
I suppose blue-white too.
So yeah, blue-white as well.
And since he's a human soldier, you could do blue-white like soldiers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Get more draw. It's not bad. Is it amazing? Nah.
It definitely has to combo with another card to even be considered playing it, but
yeah, if
like
he was
you have to have the top end to be able to draw a few cards off of it.
If he was a 3 mana 3/3 with this, or even I guess like a 4/2. I don't know if they print that, I guess, but then I think it would be much better. I don't know. He's just okay to me.
Yeah, it's okay, and you're only going to play it if you have synergies with it, I think.
Right, like a build around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You could have as your commander, I suppose.
Yeah, but then you got to find a bunch of blue 1/1 counter stuff.
Oh yeah, you're totally right. You would not have that as your commander.
And green has most of the 1/1 counter stuff. So,
yeah,
green and white. So
I guess evolution deck would be good if that's a thing.
Yeah, well, as I said, there's the Simic guy that's like tap, put a bunch of 1/1 counters on things. Like,
yeah, then that would be.
And there's the other Simic guy. It's like every card you play enters with a bunch of 1/1 counters. Like,
right.
So,
okay.
Then it would just be like play a creature, draw a card, play a creature, draw a card. So
right, then it's decent.
Next up, we got 500-Year Diary, 3 and a blue for a legendary artifact Clue. It's a Clue artifact. 500-Year Diary enters the battlefield tapped. You could tap it to add a blue for each clue you control, and you could pay to sacrifice it just like a clue to draw a card.
Reading the second 2 abilities are great, but it enters the battlefield tapped, and it's 4 mana.
So how much mana does this have to tap for you to want to play it for 4 mana?
If this thing taps for like 10, I'm in.
What if it taps for like 5?
I'm not in.
Because what is the 5 mana one? Like taps for 3?
Yeah, that's Lotus, Gilded Lotus.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even play Gilded Lotus. It's too expensive.
So what if it taps for 4?
And Gilded Lotus doesn't enter tap, so.
Yeah. I think it's playable if you have a clue deck and it taps for like 5.
If you also set up where you can untap it right away, then it's great.
Yeah. If you have Voltaic Key or something.
Yep. Voltaic Key instantly makes this playable. Without it, even if it taps for 2, because you have it's already a clue. Then if you can untap it right away for 4 mana 2, it's playable because there are cards that are playable at 2 at 4.
Or what's the other one? The Amulet of Vigor.
Yep.
That also works.
Yep.
Yeah, so you have to definitely build around it, but it definitely would go in a clue deck, I think.
I mean, in an artifact deck, you probably are running Voltaic Key anyway. Like Jake would run this. If he could
produce clues.
Yes. Yeah. If he could produce clues, you would run that. So next we have Flatline, which is a 3 mana instant, 1 blue, 2 colorless. Creatures your opponents control have a base power and toughness 0/1 until end of turn. Doesn't that already exist? Isn't that a real card already?
I think there's 1/1.
1/1 with no abilities? Okay, I don't remember.
Humility's
I feel
1/1
like
with
that.
no abilities, right?
No, that's an enchantment though. Isn't there an instant that turns everything 0/1s until end of turn?
There's 1/1s. Is
Okay.
there 0/1s? What's the black one? Does the black one make 0/1?
No, it's not a black one. It's a blue card.
Oh, there's a black one that makes 1/1s. It's one to 1/1s.
Okay, well, that card by itself is pretty decent, I think. For 3 mana, you're going to turn everything into 0/1s. And if you have a card that gives all your cards +1/+1, you can block and kill everything. That's great.
Yeah.
It's like amazing, but no, but it might it can also protect you. So
it's definitely a decent combat trick. They don't lose their abilities; they just become a 0/1. So.
Oh, they still have their abilities. Oh,
yeah. So plus, like, if they have like +1/+1 counters or something, okay, there's still like a 5/6. Like.
Yeah.
But. It's good against some things.
Yeah.
It's a blue combat trick.
I swear there was already a card like that.
I know, like, Sudden Spoiling is black, but I think it's 1/1s.
Yeah, and that's split second too. That's different. But yeah.
Yeah.
God, I swear there was one. Oh well. Oh well. I'll have to find that later. Okay. Oh, this. All right, you can do this next one. This is my sleeper card, by the way. I think this card is fucking good.
The next one is Flesh Duplicate, blue for a 0/0 Shapeshifter Rebel. You may have Flesh Duplicate enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except for it has Vanishing 3 if that creature doesn't already have Vanishing.
This is a great card. A 2 mana clone. That's in Commander and other formats. I mean, maybe not all formats, but like, you know, Legacy and Vintage, like cards aren't staying around for 3 turns. So that's useless in that regard. Just having a clone for 2 is, I think, fantastic.
So is it better than the one that we already have that clones for 2? What's the one that when it's targeted, it gets destroyed?
I think this card is better because the cost. The other one is... Are you talking about the 6 mana one?
No. The one in the blue.
Oh, the one in the blue? Oh, yeah, because that's targeted by anything. This doesn't matter.
Yeah, the one in the blue copy anything, but
you can ping that thing with, you know, anything and it's dead.
Yeah,
this is way better. Although the other one is one colorless and a blue, but this I think that card saw Modern play when Modern was in its infancy with what's the white Titan?
Sun Titan.
Sun Titan. It saw play, competitive play.
So yeah, this is better than that because it sticks around for 3 turns.
Yep. I mean, you have just with that example, you have that Titan bringing this back from the graveyard after vanishing, bringing back something else. Like this is great.
Yeah, that's true. That is good.
Yep, I think this card has a lot of potential in at least, you know, some formats. Commander for sure. I want to run it. It's a sleeper card in my opinion. So
gosh forbid you Sun Titan this back and then Sun Titan back the what I can't even remember what it's called, the other one.
Oh yeah, then you get something else.
And then
it just keeps chaining.
God,
so much value, dude. I mean, you're not wrong.
Just clone.deck.
Mm-hmm. It's a great card. All right. Next up, we have Hunted by the Family. This is a whopping 7 mana cost spell with 2 blues and 5 colorless. It's a sorcery. Choose up to 4 target creatures you don't control. For each of them, that creature's controller faces a villainous choice. That creature becomes a 1/1 white human creature and loses all abilities, or you create a token that's a copy of it. It's okay. It's really expensive.
It's 7 mana, and you basically make 4 of their things a 1/1 with no abilities.
Well, they get the choice.
Yeah, or you get 4 copies of it.
Yeah, no way is someone giving you a copy unless they're gonna win, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I kind of hate having the opponent's control on it.
Yeah,
because like if they give you it, then you know they're just gonna win on their next turn. Like
exactly. This card is a big thumbs down for me.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good.
No.
Next up, we got K9. Mark 1.
Iconic card here.
One blue. Just one blue. So this is already going to be good if it's one
Wait,
blue.
what's the creature type?
Legendary artifact creature, Robot Dog.
Oh, I love it.
Robot Dog. It's a 1/1. It has negative as long as K9 Mark 1 is untapped. Other legendary creatures you control have Ward 1. Okay, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Affirmative. 1 and a blue, tap it. Target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. And it has Doctor's Companion.
I love this card. Dude, you can't go wrong with it.
1 mana, 1/1. All other legendary creatures have Ward 1. That's good, right? Just for one drop?
That's great.
Yeah. And then you can make something unblockable.
Yeah, this can go in Voltron. This can go in a lot of other decks.
With no other legendary creatures, this is 1 mana, 1/1. Give your commander Ward 1 and can make him unblockable occasionally.
Yeah, you don't need to play him on turn 1 either. You just wait.
Yeah.
Throw him out when he's ready.
I think this is really good.
Yeah, K9, he's ready to go, dude. This is a great card. I mean, Ward 1's not a big deal, but it can be. It's something.
Yeah, it's something.
People don't pay for, what's the enchantment? You draw a card?
Mystic Study.
People don't pay for that for some reason. All right? I don't get it. I'm paying. I like it. It's a great card.
Good flavor, too.
Yes, it is. All right. Next, we have Martha Jones. This is a 3 mana, 1 blue, 2 colorless creature. It's a legendary creature, human cleric. Women who walk the earth. When Martha Jones enters the battlefield, investigate. So let's create a clue token. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, Martha Jones and up to 1 other target creature can't be blocked this turn. I think in a clue deck, that's actually quite good. Yeah,
it's good in a clue deck.
Yeah. I mean, can't be blocked in a clue deck, and when it enters the battlefield, you're making a clue. And it has Doctor's Companion.
Yeah.
Love it. I actually like this card. The cost is low, too. 3 mana, 3/2.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid card.
Mm-hmm. It has no protection, but it's good.
Next up, we got the Nano Gene Conversion. 3 in a blue. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn, except for it isn't legendary.
Dude, I'm like, this has good potential. I'm like reading this like, I'm going to make a lot of something here. This is going to be good.
Well, it goes for everybody. So everyone's creatures are that.
Yeah, but...
So, like, what if you just have one creature that's, like, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life?
Oh, my God. And it's, like, against token deck, and they have, like, 15 tokens.
Everything is this.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's sorcery, though, so it's only till the end of your turn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, it's going to be for your swing more, that...
Yeah.
You're going to make everything something really... The best thing on the board.
Like, I'm thinking, like, what's the angel that doubles damage?
Oh, Gisela.
Yeah, like a bunch of Giselas.
Like,
and all your guys is halves and halves and halves and halves, and mine are double, 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 double. It's like...
I mean, or just everything on your board is a Crater Hoof.
Well, Crater Hoof has entered the battlefield, so...
Oh, that's true. What is an attack trigger? That's really good. Everything is an Inferno Titan. Everything's a Grave Titan.
Any of the Titans.
Yeah. And your opponent could have it. Like, you could just have a bunch of 1/1s and just like, okay, I'm going to have everyone's swing as my opponent's thing.
Right. I think this card is pretty decent, and there's combo potential with this card. Like, what if you do this with your Kakusho? And you just dump a bunch of Kakushos in the graveyard by blowing up the board.
Yeah.
And they, like, if they already don't have any cards, like, it's, like, really good.
Yeah.
I think this card has a lot of potential. Definitely. Or what's like, dude, if you have a lab man,
yeah,
and you do the Sphinx where you draw a card, like whenever you draw 2 cards, whenever they draw a card, and everybody's card becomes that, and they just deck out and you just win.
Yeah.
This has a lot of potential, I think. So. Oh, I like this next card. Did I read this last one, or did you read it?
I did, I think.
Okay. So the next card is Nardole Resourceful Cyborg. This is a 2-mana, 1/2 legendary artifact creature scientist. It has tap. Add a blue for each counter on Nardole. Spend this mana only to cast non-creature spells. It has Undying, so that's when it dies. If it had no 1/1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it. It also has Doctor's Companion.
So this card could be really good if you have any way to add mana to it. Or counters to it.
Yeah, if you add more counters to it, like you said with Proliferate,
Yeah.
you add a lot of manas. It's non-creature, but I think that's okay in a Proliferate deck. I think you're going to be casting a lot of spells in that deck.
Yeah, and if you have anything that adds counters, like even if you just have something that's like, I don't know, add a first strike counter to this, or
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
You tap for more manas.
Yep.
I mean, Mana Dork in blue is good.
Yes, I agree.
Blue does
especially to cast non-creature spells, because blue is mostly non-creature spells. You know, counter spells, stuff like that. It's not a colorless either, like some of them, or artifact only, like others. So I think this card has potential also to be very good.
Next up, we got Nissa of Traken. 3 and a blue for a 3/4 legendary creature, human scientist. You have no max hand size. And whenever you attack, sacrifice X artifacts. When you sacrifice one of our artifacts this way, tap up to X target creatures, and you draw X cards.
This is a good card. It also has Doctor's Companion.
Yeah.
I don't think that really matters, but...
So you attack with it, you sack some artifacts, tap some things, and draw cards.
Any way to sacrifice artifacts in an artifact deck, you're going to be liking this.
Well, I mean, if you're in a clue deck and you sacrifice a bunch of clues to draw cards, you're sacrificing them for 0 to draw cards.
Right. For me, it doesn't even matter for that. You just do one card, one artifact at a time. One attack, sacrifice one artifact. You're drawing one card, but because you're sacrificing it, most artifact decks want that, where you're just sacrificing. And
I'm just saying you could have a lot of things, because then there was the other card earlier. It's like whenever you sacrifice a clue. Like,
I mean, there's even more combos than just that. I'm just thinking base artifact decks.
But base level, just sack something to remove a blocker and draw a card is pretty good.
And the mana cost, I like it. 3/4 for a 4. Like that's good.
And you get no max hand size.
Yep. All right, we have the next card here, which is Osgood Operation Double. We have 4 mana, 2 blue, 2 colorless, legendary creature, human, Alan shapeshifter?
Alien.
Is that alien?
Alien.
The screen, it looked like Alan. Like, that doesn't make any sense. All right. When you cast a spell, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. And it has tap, add colorless, spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact. And it has Paradox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, investigate. And that's create a clue token.
But you have 2 of these out, remember?
Yeah.
So you cast a spell, 4 mana, 2/2/2s that tap for mana for artifacts.
Once again, artifacts.
And if you can somehow cast a spell not from your hand, so whether it be suspend or exile or something, you're going to get clues.
I guess 4 mana, so it's basically 2 mana for a 2/2 and 2 mana for a 2/2. So
yeah,
I think it's okay. 2/2. It's okay. I think there might be stuff with this. I'm not seeing it, but I think it's okay.
It's definitely interesting if you play this as your commander.
Yeah.
Because you cast it, make a copy of it, and then you could kill this one off, cast it again. And it would trigger the other one because you're casting from the command zone, not your hand. And then you would get another copy.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, I think there's something I'm missing, but I think it's pretty decent.
I'm sure there's a way to break it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Quantum Misalignment. It is 4 and a blue for a sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except for it isn't legendary, and it has Rebound, which is you copy it again on your next upkeep. You cast this again on your next upkeep.
I like how all these are creating tokens that are non-legendary.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's good. And I think this card is pretty decent also because it has rebound.
Yeah, so take your best.
It's a
best
creature
thing.
you control. It's a creature you control, but I think
Yeah.
there's combos, lots of combos you can make with that.
I mean, you could just have double of your commander. Usually, that's a
Yeah.
card you want two of.
What's the commander that draw a card, your opponents lose a life?
Nekisar.
Yeah, Nekisar. Put that in Nekisar. Get 2 Nekisars. Maybe it's a little expensive for that, but I think it's okay of a card.
Yeah.
A little expensive, but you get the rebound, so. Okay. The next card we have is Reverse the Polarity. It's a 3 mana, 2 blue, 1 colorless. Instant, choose 1. Counter all other spells. Switch each creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Or creatures can't be blocked this turn. This is a good card.
I mean, the counters that you're going to play it is most of the time, right?
Or the win condition, creatures can't be blocked this turn.
Yeah.
The middle ability is whatever, but the first one and the last one, those are great.
Yep. Counter spell that can later win the game. It's not bad.
Yeah, and it's counter all, so storm stack, like
Yeah.
whoop. I guess if they have to play stuff on the stack. Counter wars, this would be super good.
Yeah. You counter your counter, you just play this.
Counter. Yeah, this is a good card. I like it.
It does counter everything though, so it does counter whatever you had too.
Yeah,
right.
That's why I say counter wars is in like you're trying to counter your opponent's stuff.
Yeah, so you counter something, they counter your counter, and you counter everything.
Yeah. I like this last ability the best though. The creatures can't be blocked this turn.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got the 11th Hour, 3 in a blue. The first chapter, search for a doctor card, put it in your hand, shuffle. Second chapter, create a food token and a 1/1 white human creature token with doctor spells cost 1 less to cast. And chapter 3, create a token that's a copy of target creature, except for it's a legendary alien named Prisoner Zero.
I don't. 4 mana for 3 turns later, getting a copy of a token. You get to search for a doctor card, but it puts it in your hand. But that's the first.
And then you get a 1/1 that makes that, and a food that makes the doctor cost 1 less, and then you get a copy of your best thing, but it becomes legendary.
I think it's just okay.
It's medium, yeah.
Yeah. The sagas, man. I'm not a big fan of sagas. They seem so slow, but Tom Bombadil decks seem to be really good, so seems like an interesting concept. All right, the next one we have is the Flood of Mars. That's 2 blue and 2 colorless, so 4 mana. It is a creature, alien, zombie, horror. It has Island Walk, and Water Always Wins is the ability. Whenever the Flood of Mars attacks, put a flood counter on another target creature or land. If it's a creature, it becomes a copy of the Flood of Mars. If it's a land, it becomes an island in addition to its other types.
So you turn everything into 3/3s, or you turn lands into islands.
I like. It's not bad. I mean, when it attacks, put a flood counter on another target creature or land. You can really screw your opponent. You can really screw your opponent.
Well, it's an island in addition, so they could still tap it.
Oh,
but it's like you can island walk unblockable for 3 then.
Yeah, so you'd probably turn a bunch of creatures and then just turn the 1 land and then swing.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't know. It's 4 mana. It's kind of slow. You got to attack a lot of times.
It's really slow. The more I'm looking at it, the more it's like a turtle.
It's really slow.
I do like alien zombie horror, though. That's kind of cool. All right.
Next up, we have Traverse Eternity. 2 blue for a sorcery. Draw cards equal to the highest mana value among historic permanents you control. So if you have a commander out or something, it could be like a 4 mana draw 6.
Yeah, you know what? It's not bad. It's 4 mana. You have to have something out.
You
It's
need
a
to draw. You need
sorcery.
to draw what, 6 cards or be worth it, or 4 cards at least.
4 cards, I think, would be
4
worth.
cards at least to play it.
Yeah, because then you're netting 3. If it was an instant, this would be super good. Super
It
good.
really sucks not an instant.
Yeah, it's a sorcery. It's just okay. I guess in an artifact deck, this is gonna be. No, you have
Because
to have
I guess how much better is 4 mana, draw 4, draw 6, whatever, than like just blue X, like draw X cards.
Exactly.
So
And there's a couple of the X ones that are instances. So
yeah,
and they do see play. So I don't know. It's okay. And you don't have to have something out. That's another problem.
yep.
Okay, what is this? This is an adventure. Twice Upon a Time. It is a 6 mana spell, 4 colorless, 2 blue. It's a sorcery. It has. How do you start with this one? Do you do the left
Just
side?
read
Then
the
right side?
main side first, probably.
Is that the right side or the left side?
Yeah, the right side.
Okay. Cast a spell only if you control 2 or more doctors. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Twice Upon a Time. Or you can do the Unlikely Meeting for 3 mana, 1 blue, 2 colorless. It's in sorcery. Search your library for a doctor card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle.
So you can play 3 mana, get a doctor, put it in your hand, and then if you have 2 doctors, 6 mana, take an extra turn.
If I played this card, it would be because I'm using the Unlikely Meeting, not the Twice Upon a Time.
So 6 mana, take an extra turn with condition. Isn't that great?
Yeah. If I happen to have the condition and meet it, it's okay. Because there's other take extra turns that are way better.
They're like 5 mana.
Yeah. And like search your library for a doctor. If you're playing a doctor deck, then it's pretty good for 3 mana search your library. So I'd probably play it for the left side, but not the right side.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the left side, you can always cast the right side after you adventure it.
Yep.
Too, so.
Yep. So it's okay. The search part's pretty decent if you're playing a doctor deck.
All right, next up, we're moving to black. So now we got the Dalek Drone here. 3 black for a 3/3 artifact creature Dalek. Flying in menace, and it has exterminate! Exterminate!
You have to say it that way.
When Dalek Drone enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls. That player loses 3 life.
It's super. Just okay. 5 mana, destroy target creature. It's got menace, I guess.
5 mana, destroy target creature. They lose 3, but you are left back with a 3/3 flying menace. It's not horrible.
For 5 mana, it seems like there's better cards to play.
I know, but the flavor's so good because you could just go exterminate, exterminate, and then you keep copying this and keep doing it.
Yeah, the Daleks, man, they're taking over.
Right, the Daleks.
Yeah,
I'll play it because of the flavor, probably.
Yes,
but it's a medium card overall, I think.
For sure, especially a rare. Oh,
it's good. It could be good just to reanimate this, though.
Yeah, I mean,
reanimate. You take 5, destroy a creature, they lose 3.
But what's the one that you can just pay the 2 and then you sack it right away? Is Channel? Is it Channel?
You mean Flash?
Not Flash. No, it's like it costs. Oh man, it costs like 5. It comes into play. It does the same thing. It doesn't have the lose 3 life, but it destroys target non-black creature, and then you can pay like the. What's that? God dang it! I can't remember the name. There's also the card. It's like that fish that you draw 2 cards.
Oh yeah.
It's all bad with names. But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I guess they lose 3 life. That's the only difference.
Yeah, it's how much better is the destroy creature they lose 3 life from the what the hell is that?
The other one's like 2 you can cast it, or 3, and then
the other one's like 3 mana.
Yeah.
But it's not a 3/3 flying menace that's left behind.
That's true. That's true.
So I guess if you say the kill spell is worth like 3 mana, right?
Right.
Is a 3/3 flying menace worth 2 mana?
Absolutely.
So 100%. It's probably overall a medium card then.
Right. It's definitely medium.
Yeah.
There's other cards that are better, but if you have it and you want to run it flavor, you want to say exterminate, do it. Do it up. Exterminate those bastards. All right. Next we have Death in Heaven. This is another saga. This is 1 black and 3 colorless. And the first and second chapters are target player mills 2 cards, then exiles their graveyard. And then the third chapter is put all creature cards exiled with Death in Heaven onto the battlefield, face down, under your control. They're 2/2 Cyberman artifact creatures. I actually like that card. I think this card is okay. I wish it cost 3, not 4.
So you're basically going to get a lot of 2/2s. But here's the thing. Isn't there a card that says turn target face down, creature face out?
Is there?
Pretty sure there's a card that does that. And so that would combo with this. You could keep turning up the good ones.
Oh my. If that's the case, that's really good.
But it's another color, though. I don't think it's black.
Dude, even if you use like Momentary Blink or Restoration Angel? No, because then it gets it under their own control.
Yeah.
But if you do it on your own cards that you know your own cards, oh my. I think this card's okay. It's graveyard hate, and then you get 2/2s. That's okay. It's a little expensive. I wish it costed 3. You could even get rid of the second chapter. Just have 1 chapter, 2 chapter. Okay.
I know there's a card that does it. I just don't know it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up, but I couldn't find anything. Are you on the next one, or should I do the next one?
You can do the next one.
All right. We have Doomsday Confluence. It's double X and a black. Choose X. You may choose the same mode more than once. Each player sacrifices a non-artifact creature. Create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace, or each opponent discards a card. This is a good card. Black can get double X, like big numbers. Unga bunga.
All right, so choose X. You may choose the same mode more than once. Each player sacrifices a non-artifact creature creates a 3/3 Dalek. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think most players are going to do the 3/3 black dog, and each opponent discards a card. That's what it's going to be used for. Because it's each player sacrifices a non-artifact creature.
Yeah.
I think this is a great card. Although if you have your Kakusha out, you're like, oh, I'm just going to dip that right in the graveyard.
Yeah. So the first one that I found, anyways, for the face down thing is Ixidor. It's 3 blue for 3/4. That gives all face down creatures +1/+1, and has 2 and a blue. Turn a face down creature face up.
There we go.
So
there we
you
go.
have a blue black deck.
There we go. So there was something. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this Doomsday Confluence, I think this is a great card. Create an army and everyone has no hand.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pay double X, but...
I know, but I feel like black can do that with all the mana they can get.
Yeah, especially with like Cabal Coffers or something.
Exactly. Or if you do blue-black, or I mean black-green, easy mode. Easy mode.
Seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Genesis of the Daleks. 4 black for a saga. Chapter 1, create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace for each lore counter on this. And then chapter 2 is the same thing in chapter 3. So you're going to get 1 3/3, then 2 3/3s, then 3 3/3s. And then chapter 4 is target opponent faces a villainous choice. They destroy all Dalek creatures, and each of your opponents loses life equal to the total power of all Daleks that died this turn, or destroy all non-Dalek creatures. So it's pretty fucking good, I think.
I mean, it's good if you can protect the Dalek creature tokens.
Yeah, because you're
for 6 mana.
So you get 1, then 2, then 3. So you get 6 3/3s.
Yeah, 1, 2, and then you get the 3, so the 6.
So it's basic. If you could protect them until chapter 4, it's they're choosing to either they all lose 18 life,
Yeah.
or you destroy everything but those 3/3s.
Yeah, if you can protect this, but for 6 mana, it's just okay. Because like for 6 mana, like here's what's popping up in my head. For 6 mana, you're summoning a 3/3. It's destroyed. Like then this card's destroyed, and you just have a 3/3.
Yeah, if they blow this up immediately.
Yeah. Which in Commander, that's a lot of that happens. So,
Yeah.
but if you can protect it, it is a pretty decent card.
Or if you have a way to cheat it in somehow.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
what if you just have the read ahead and then you have like a Dalek tribal deck? So it's like, okay, you're gonna lose a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
life
with
for
read
blowing
ahead,
it
with
up.
read ahead and stuff, I could definitely see that. And in fact,
Yeah.
you know,
Because then you just go right
now
through
we're
mark
talking.
4.
Yeah. Although if they don't have any creatures out and they destroy all non-Dalek creatures, it doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah.
It seems just okay. Okay. Now we have the Toy Maker's Trap. That is a 1 black and 2 colorless enchantment. And it has, at the beginning of your upkeep, secretly choose a number between 1 and 5 that hasn't been chosen. If you do, an opponent guesses which number you chose, then you reveal the number you chose. If they guessed wrong, they lose life equal to the number they guessed, and you draw a card. If they guessed right, sacrifice the Toymaker's Trap. I don't... What the heck kind of card is this, dude?
It's almost like an unhinged card.
Dude, this is like a chaos card, dude. I like it for the chaos aspect and secretly choosing things.
Okay,
Like,
so pick a number between 1 and 5. What do you guess?
I'm going to guess 2.
That was 1, so you lose 2 life and I draw a card.
Oh, God.
I mean, your odds are, so it's what if you take the guessing out of it, right? So if 1 and 5, so your first turn, your odds are what? It's like 20%.
Yep.
To draw. So 20% of they get it right. So you have 80% chance to draw at least one card off this.
But do you pick a higher number or a lower number?
That's up to you.
Because it's a secret.
Yeah. Because if they get it right, you're screwed.
Personally, I would pick lower numbers. Like I guessed a lower number with you because I thought you were picking something that if it's low, then it doesn't matter, you know. I would pick lower numbers because they don't want higher numbers, but then they get tricked into the. I don't know. Maybe there's some mind games with this.
Well, because if I go 5, right? You could have just went out and said 5, but if you're wrong, you lose 5 freaking life, which is kind of a lot.
Right.
But you do know every turn which one. So, like, they're going to get 1, probably.
Yeah.
Right? And then the next time it'd be a 25% that you gets it right. So they might get 2. And then it'd be 33%. Might get 3. A best case scenario, they get 4, but...
I like the mind games with it. It's pretty fun in that regard, but what the hell?
Like, best case scenario, it's a 3-mana draw 4. And dome your opponent for some life.
Yeah. Yep.
Worst case, they hit it right off the bat, and it was a 3-mana do nothing.
True.
But most of the time, you're probably going to net 1 card. So it's going to replace itself.
Yeah, it's the experience you get with this.
Like, so say you picked 1, right? So it's, what is, and they, I guess, so, or they picked 1, then guess they're right. So what is 3-mana draw a card, they lose, your opponent loses 1 life. Is that worth 3 mana?
Absolutely not. Not a million years.
If you draw a card and they lose a life?
No, it's not. It's not worth it.
Okay, so
but it's the fun aspect of this, and if they
so if you get 2 cards, what about if it was draw a card, your opponent loses 2 life?
Draw a card and your opponent loses 2 life.
Yeah,
it's still not worth.
So you have to draw 2 cards to make it worth it.
I think so, yeah. Because if you draw 1, it's just a replacement.
Right. What if it was draw 1 card and they lose 5 life?
Then I think that's worth it. That's pretty good life. Lose 5 life out of 4.
So you basically have to get 2 cards for it to be worth it then.
Yeah. Yep. In my eyes,
It's a bunch of fucking mind games too.
Yeah, that's the aspect I like.
I think most of the time you're going to end up with 1 card probably. Maybe you'll.
Yeah.
I mean, mathematically, you should probably get 2 or 3, but I don't know. With the mind games, who knows?
Well.
So. All right, next up we got This Is How It Ends. 3 and a black for an instant. Target creature's owner shuffles it into their library, then faces a villainous choice. They lose 5 life, or they shuffle another creature they own into their library.
I think it's okay because it shuffles it into the library. At least 1. I think that's better than destroy because a lot of people play stuff from the graveyard. The losing 5 life or they shuffle another one, that's just more goodness, I guess. I think it's just okay.
Yeah, I mean, how good is shuffle something in, they lose 5? That's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, that's good.
If you can shuffle 2 things, that's way good.
That's way good. Yeah. Late game, the lose 5 life really makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean,
even the shuffle.
You'll play 4 mana instant kills if you need to in some decks.
It's true. Yeah,
I think it's a solid card. It's playable.
Yeah, definitely playable.
Could get a 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you play it and they're at 5, they basically have to get rid of 2 creatures.
And if they don't, well, yeah, if they don't, they have to lose the 5 life, right?
Yeah, and then they die if they were at 5 life.
Okay, next we have the Time Reaper. It's a 5 mana, 2 black, 3 colorless creature alien horror. It's flying haste, consume anomaly. Whenever Time Reaper deals combat damage to a player, put target face-up card they own in exile on the bottom of their library. If you do, you gain 3 life. And it's a 4/4.
So you could take their suspended cards or their adventure cards and put them on the bottom of their deck.
I think it's good. It's 5 mana and it's flying haste too.
Yeah, I mean 5/4/4 flying haste is pretty good.
Yeah,
it's really good against suspend deck or adventure decks or anything that impulse draws a bunch. Like
even if you didn't have that, it's still good. Like if that whiffs on anything, it's still 5 mana 4/4 flying haste in black.
Yeah,
no drawbacks.
5 mana 4/4 flying haste with upside, basically.
Yep, that's a good card. Definitely playable.
Next up, we got Vashta Nerada. 2 and a black for a 1/1 alien horror. It's indestructible, has shadow, and has morbid. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
This card is nuts.
Indestructible shadow creature.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about it in my Yawgmoth deck. For creatures that you're just gonna keep putting 1/1 counters on this. This is a great card.
Yep.
It's
each end step too, so your opponent too.
Yep. This is a great card.
It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're not going to be able to block it. And even if they do happen to get a shadow creature, yours is indestructible.
Exactly. This is a fantastic card.
It's a sweet card.
Yep, 3 mana, 1/1 too. It all works out here. All right, we have Vizlor Turlo. It's a 3 colorless, 1 black, so 4 mana, legendary creature, rogue. It has Deal with the Black Guardian. When Visor Turlo enters the battlefield, you may have an opponent gain control of it. If you do, it's goaded for as long as they control it. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. It's also a 2/5 with Doctor's Companion.
So I feel like you'd rather just have this, right?
At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Yeah, letting your opponents draw cards is never a good idea. If they gain control.
I mean, unless they have like 15 cards in their hand or something, but
well, unless you can manipulate the top of their deck where they take big damage. Oh wait, yeah, it's number of cards in their hand, not the top. It's not like
right,
Bob.
They'd have to have like no max hand size and a bunch of cards for you to give it to them. Because I mean, like Draw a card, lose 7 is kind of bad, but you
Meta
probably
decking.
but
Meta decking against your opponent, your friends, is not fun. So do not play this card if you're doing that.
yeah, you're probably just gonna play it out when you have 0 cards in hand and just draw a card every turn.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like that's how I would play it. So 2/5, draw a card every turn. That's not bad.
For 4 mana, yeah. I feel like
There's a
black would be better.
big butt, but yeah, I'd rather just play Phyrexian Arena or something.
Exactly. 2/5, big butt.
All right, now we're on to
red now.
Yeah, we're on to red. We got Amy Pond. 2 in a red, 2/2. Legendary creature human. It partners with Rory. Well, better. Whenever Amy Pond deals combat damage to a player, choose a suspended card you own and remove that many time counters from it.
Okay. Good for suspend deck. I love the cube in the background, by the way, of the art.
Yep.
Seems just okay. I guess I don't know what Rory does. So.
No, but I mean, like, even if it's not great,
I mean,
it's still good in a suspend deck, right? Because if you can hit for 2 damage, you're removing 2 whole turns off of it.
Or even more. Put a Jit on this, put 4.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's only good in a suspend deck, though. Like, it's horrible otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely would fit right on in, right? In a suspend deck. 3 mana, though. I don't know how I feel about the 3 mana 2/2. Especially with red. I feel like it could do better. And it doesn't have haste. Wish it had haste.
That's
but
true.
I don't know what Rory does, so we'll see what Rory is. Maybe he's just going to give her haste or something. Okay, next we have Bill Potts. He's a 4 mana, 1 red, 3 colorless, legendary creature human. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Bill Potts, or activates an ability that targets only Bill Potts, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. Doctor's Companion.
So
this is a good card.
I buff this, I can buff it again or buff something else.
Whenever you cast it, only targets Bill Potts or activates an ability. This is a good card. Wait, is it only the first target? Right?
It's you target it and then you get a copy of it.
This is a good card. There's combo here. You can.
It only triggers once each turn, so you can't play like 2
No,
turns.
I know. So you want to copy. What's the one that doubles the power but then destroy it? God damn, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Berserk.
Yeah, you play Berserk. It's gonna copy on the stack. On the stack, you're gonna play things before it. So all those will resolve first. You're gonna have a huge creature swinging in. That can just get ridiculous on its own.
Yeah, but do you need 2 Berserks for that? You could just have 1.
Well, Berserk doubles, right?
Yeah.
I like.
Okay, so you Berserk giant growth. You have 6, a 12, 24, 4.
That's pretty good, and it has trample with Berserk, right?
Yeah.
That's a good card, dude. This is a good card.
It's pretty good.
I like Bill Potts.
I think it's not as good as people think, but it's pretty good. It can be good, yes. It's good in Voltron. It's good if you give it Infect or something.
Yeah, I give it Infect too. I mean, he costs 4 in it, but he's got 4 def, so he's not going to get bolted.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to experiment with this guy. He's got potential here. Okay. Oh my goodness. We have a side card, a dual side card.
So, next up we got Coward and Killer. I kind of turn my head here.
Oh, I have it so you can rotate it.
Oh. So it's 1 in a red for Coward for a sorcery. Target creature can't block this turn and becomes a coward. In addition to its other types until end of turn, and then you time travel. Or Killer is 2 red for a sorcery. Killer deals 3 damage to each, or 3 damage to target creature and each other creature that shares a creature type with it. You can play one or the other because it's a split card.
I like the Coward ability. I think Killer's a little expensive to deal 3 damage in each other creature that shares a creature type with it. I think Killer's a little strange, but Coward's a good.
Coward, you make something a coward.
Yep, target creature can't block this turn and becomes a coward, and you can time travel for 2 mana.
Are you going to play it with that other card that cowards can't block warriors?
You know it, dude. You know it. It's going right in there. That's funny. What about you? What do you think about Killer and Coward?
I think it's okay. I do like that the coward makes something time travels, so it's good if you need that.
Yeah,
like it's a cheap time travel spell. I feel like Killer, if they're playing a token deck or something, it's good. You could play that and just blow all their fucking tokens away.
for sure. Hopefully their tokens aren't like 10/10s, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the next card here is Dan Lewis. It is a 1 red, 1 colorless, so 2 mana, legendary creature, human. Non-creature, non-equipment artifacts you control are equipment in addition to their other types and have equipped creature gets +1/+0 and equip 1. What the heck? And Doctor's Companion.
So it turns all of your non-equipments into equipments for equip 1 +1/+0. So your Sol Ring becomes +1/+0 equipment.
Non-creature, non-equipment artifacts. That is crazy.
So that's kind of crazy. You can attach all of your artifacts to it to give +1/+0, but they still have their other abilities, so you can still tap the artifacts for all their shit too.
You want to play like Planar Portal, or what's the one that costs 8?
Why would you play that one?
And then you put it on your creature. You're like, I swing with 1. This huge portal. It's coming at you. I would do it, dude. I would do it.
It's more like I play Sol Ring, Arcade Signet, whatever. All my mana rocks are here. Now I tap Sol Ring for mana and equip all of my mana rocks to it.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the ridiculousness of it. Like, yeah, I got this 8-cost artifact. I'm gonna stick it on and give.
I play Planar Bridge. Equip it.
Yeah, Planar Bridge. There we go.
And then while it's attacking, I'm going to pay 8 and tap the Planar Bridge as equipped to destroy a card.
Exactly. I'm thinking the ridiculousness of it.
It's just like, what?
I need that 1 extra damage, bro. I like this card. He's 2 mana, 2/2.
I mean, if you just have random non-creature, non-equipment artifacts sitting around, I guess. Like,
everyone runs Sol Ring, dude.
Like your treasures or your clues or your food become, equipments, I guess.
I think it's great. I think it's a great card. This could go in your equipment deck because all your mana rocks become equipments.
Yeah.
That's a great card. It's 2 mana, 2/2. Right on cue. The manas.
All right, next up we got Day of the Moon. 2 in a red for a saga. Chapter 1 is choose a creature card name, then go to all creatures with a name chosen for Day of the Moon. And then you do that 10 more times.
I like this card because you don't like goad, so I like it.
I hate goad.
It's not very good though because you have to choose a creature card name.
So you choose 1 card on the board.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's like 3 Llanowar Elves out if everyone's playing green. And you go, Llanowar Elves are all goaded. Okay, now all fucking Elvish Mystic is goaded now.
And next turn, I'm going to do Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, and then Elvish Mystic and Llanowar are goaded that turn because everything you've named previous, too.
Yep.
But it's still like, that's best case scenario. Worst case is you're goading 3 things. Like, it's terrible.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
But it's fun because goad, not a lot of cards are goading, and it's neat.
I don't like the mechanic. If you have a goad deck and like goad, go ahead and play it. But it does it for cheap, okay? If you need another goad effect for cheap, there you go.
Hey, man, goad is fun. When you're not on the receiving end.
You gotta go the goad deck, man.
I'm
not gonna like goad. I'm gonna be against goad until someone builds a really good goad deck and beats me with it.
Oh, challenge accepted. All right. The next card we have is called Delete. It is 2 red and X. It is a sorcery, red spell. Deal X damage to each non-artifact creature and each player.
It's good.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, there's really not much to talk about. I mean,
Yeah, it's like fire. It's like what's the other one? The fireball, not fireball. What's the one that deals next to everything?
there's a lot of cards like that. What's
Like
the mir-
non-flyer one.
Not Miracle, the one that was in the
Oh,
Miracles,
bonfire.
Bonfire of the
Yeah,
Damned.
but this one
That
hits
does it to players
non-artifacts,
too.
so it's really good in an artifact deck.
That does it to players too. I guess that this is similar to it.
This is good
Bonfire.
in an artifact deck because it doesn't kill your artifact creatures.
Absolutely, it's a good card. Straightforward. And only, you know,
And then
one
when you
act.
could play it, you could say you got deleted.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
will be deleted.
so,
Yep.
yeah. Next up is Donna Noble.
Donna.
3 in a red for a 2/4 legendary creature human. It has Soul Bond. You may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when it enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as you control both of them. So whenever Donna or a creature it's paired with is dealt damage, Donna deals that much damage to target opponent.
It's also got Doctor's Companion. It's
So
okay.
if I pair this with Stuffy Doll, I get Stuffy Doll's trigger twice.
Yes. Wait,
Or Brash Taunter.
whenever Donna or a creature is paired, it is dealt damage.
Then Donna deals that much damage to target opponent.
Yeah, this card's not bad because of the soulbound part. Yeah, if you do it on Stuffy Doll, you get double on the Stuffy.
Yeah. Same with the Brash Taunter.
Yep. But who runs those cards? Come on.
If you don't
Yeah.
run those cards, it's not very good, I don't think, is it?
I mean, it's still okay because it's like, do you want to attack into it? You know, if you
Yeah,
got a
you
big attack.
don't. You're not going to attack into it unless you have over an X4. And whatever you're paired with, you're not going to want to attack into that.
But it ain't
Or
no
if you
Phyrexian
attack, you're not
Obliterator.
going to want to block it.
But it ain't no Phyrexian Obliterator unless you pair
Right.
that with Phyrexian Obliterator. Then you
Oh,
got
yeah.
double dip in there too. But 4 blacks. That's pretty difficult. All right. It's okay. I wish it was like a 3/4 or something. Next we have Ecstatic Beauty, a sorcery, 2 colorless, 1 red. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play those cards until end of turn. Put 4 time counters on each of those cards that has suspended. It also has suspend 4 for 1. Wait, what? Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play those cards.
Yeah, so it's an impulse draw 3, and if those cards have suspend, you just suspend for them for free, basically.
Oh, okay. So it's like, I see. Seems not bad.
Yeah, it's not
Red kinda,
horrible. I mean,
red kinda
if the
does this.
1 mana, if you could suspend, like you spend for 1 mana, wait 4 turns, you basically impulse draw 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you'd
Like
probably just turn 1 suspend
turn
this
1,
4.
just suspend this, yeah.
Yep,
And then it becomes
absolutely.
a draw 3 later.
Yep.
Next up, we got Ensnared by the Mara. 2 red for a sorcery. Each opponent faces a villainous choice. They exile cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card, and then you cast that card without paying its mana cost. Or they exile the top 4 cards of their library, and they take damage equal to the total mana value of those cards.
To that player.
Yep.
That's a good. I think it's a good card.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's me, I'm just choosing exile top 4 and take damage equals CMC, right?
Right. In Commander, anyway. Yeah.
Because I mean, what are the odds that I'm going to hit like 40 off that? Like not.
No, knowing you're gonna hit land. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh sweet, I take nothing.
Yeah.
I guess in that regard, it's just okay.
But I mean, 4 mana. I mean, they're probably going to get at least 4 mana with the stuff. So like, if it's 4 mana, deal over 4. That's okay.
Yeah.
So
Just gotta hit that blade steel, right?
yeah.
I guess it's a little worse than okay. Because yeah, you're right. You're just always gonna pick the bottom value.
I mean, unless you're at like 5 life or something. But
Or you manipulated your library and you know it's coming.
yeah.
Okay. Next we have Flaming Tyrannosaurus. It is a 7 mana, 2 red, 5 colorless creature dinosaur with menace. It has Paradox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, the Tyrannosaurus deals 3 damage to any target. Then put a 1/1 counter on Flaming Tyrannosaurus. When Flaming Tyrannosaurus dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. It is also a 5/5.
So if you can cast stuff from some spend, or you play your commander, this gets bigger and you bolt shit.
Yeah, but for 7 manas.
Yeah, you probably want to cheat this out. I don't think I want to hard cast it for 7.
I think I would never play this card.
Well,
If he costed 6, or even
what if
5,
you
and he was
cheat,
like
what
a
if you cheat him
3/3.
out, right? Like, what if you hit this? And what if you suspend this for 4 or something? Or you suspended it for 7 turns and then you get it out later.
7 turns.
Like
I guess because you can use the time. You can use the timey-wimey shit to.
Yeah.
It's still just okay. I'd rather suspend something that's going to win me the game instead of slowly do something.
I don't know. I mean, if you have this and then you dump your hand into suspending and bolting something every turn, it's not horrible.
Yeah. I mean, there are worse cards.
But you have to basically hit the trigger twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you have a 7/7 with menace for 7, and then when it dies, it domes everyone for 7. Like, that's not bad.
Yep. That's not bad then. But that seems like a lot of setup. If it only costs like 6 or 5,
Yeah.
I think it'd be more playable. Even if it was a 3/3 with these abilities.
I mean, you
Build
could
a 3/3 for 5.
Elvish Piper it in or something, but
Yeah, but are you running red-green with this kind of card? With what we've seen,
probably
like
playing
other.
blue.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just okay. I'm not like blown away by it.
What about with sneak attack? Swing in for 5, deal 5 to everyone? It's not horrible.
No, sneak attack is fine, I suppose. It has menace, so it's like gotta be blocked by 2 or more, so it's not that bad, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's better than you think it is, but yeah, there's a lot of setup to use the paradox part.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's the bottom part that people would want. The menace, where you're swinging in with haste, and then it's dying, so everyone's gonna lose 5 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm probably just missing something. I just feel like 7's a lot for this.
Yeah,
I guess if you give it some equipment,
you're not playing a lot of 7 drops, maybe 1 or 2.
like what? Like what's the card that the creature loses flying gains like +10 attack?
Oh, the hammer.
Fucking put that on there. I'd like it a little more. Because the hammer's cheap to equip, right? They just lose flying.
It's like 10 to equip.
Yeah, but in that deck it costs 1, so
it costs like 0 in that deck.
0. So then now, if you're hitting everyone, if you're doming everyone for 15 and also swinging for 15, I'm talking, dude. I am probably missing something because the price of this card is like $3, so people like it. Okay. It's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I got a split card. Oh, God. All right, we got Gallifrey Falls. It's a 6 mana red spell, 2 red and 4 colorless. It's an instant, and it deals 4 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die, exile it, or you can cast it for no more. Also an instant, 3 mana, but it's white, 1 color or one white and 2 colorless. Any number of target creatures you control phase out. Actually, the phase out part, I really like that.
Yeah, it does have fuse, so you can cast both halves at the same time.
Oh, I missed the fuse. Yep, you're totally right. I don't think that's super important. I mean, I guess the 4 damage.
That would be what, 9 mana?
Yeah,
9 mana, deal 4 to everything on save your board. Like,
yeah,
whatever. You're probably just going to cast no more most of the time, I think.
Yeah, I think no more is what this card will be used for, and I think that's pretty decent. The phase out.
It does kind of suck that it's on a red-white card, so you can't just play it in a mono-white deck, but...
True. But it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's
for
a
the
decent card.
Part. Yep.
Next up, we got Impending Flux. 2 and a red for a sorcery. Paradox. Deals X damage to each opponent, and each creature they control, where X is 1 plus the number of spells you've cast from anywhere other than your hand this turn. And then it has Foretell for 1 red, so you can pay 2, put it in exile, and then cast it for 3 later. So
But it
1
already
red
costs
instead
3.
of 2 in a red.
It already costs 3.
Yeah, it just then it would also trigger itself
Oh, I suppose.
on itself versus not. So it would be 2 damage if you just
Plus, there's
Foretell
combos with other stuff that you're casting it from outside
Yeah.
the things or whatever.
So if you just this, if you foretell it, deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature. If you foretell it.
I think this card is okay. It deals X damage to each opponent and each creature they control. X is 1 plus the number of spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand. Yeah, I think this is okay. I mean, you're going to be in this card is probably going to be in a suspend deck because that's what it seems like it's for.
Right.
With the foretell, the foretell is just like a little bonus thing, I think.
Yeah, it's just if you want to make it an extra one higher.
Yeah.
Like you just foretell it and then wait a turn and then do it.
Yeah.
Like if you had a card
it's a sorcery though. I wish it was an instant. But...
Like if you have a card that's coming off suspend on your next turn, you know.
Yeah.
You could foretell it and then wait until that comes off.
Okay. What the hell? Okay, Into the Time Vortex. It is a 5 mana red spell. 1 red, 4 colorless. Why do I have the weird ones? It's Cascade, it's a sorcery, and it's Rebound.
Yeah.
So this is just to trigger a lot of other things.
So Cascade, something that costs under 5, and then next turn you rebound the Cascade again.
Yep. It's just to be triggering a lot of the other stuff in this.
And this is going to cast trigger all that shit that you didn't cast it from your hand.
Yeah. Cool. I think this card is oddly good. Like, it's the Cascade part is what's good.
I mean, you could put just a bunch of good 4-drops in your deck, too, and getting 2 good of those.
This is also red, which is in Cascade decks, so red is good. And 5 is a good number.
Yep.
So I think it's what red, blue, green is the Cascade colors. So it's an interesting card. I didn't expect it to do nothing except the rebound is also really good.
Yep.
Okay.
Next up, we got Return to the Past. 4 red for enchantment. As long as it's your turn, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. Its flashback cost is equal to its mana cost.
Isn't this a card already?
Yeah, but it's a blue card, not a red card, I think. This is an enchantment. Like there's a blue creature that gives everything.
Oh, this is an enchantment.
Yeah.
Dude, this card is nuts.
But there's a blue creature that does this, but not a red card. And this is just forever, like the whole game.
I know this is a nuts card. This is a good card.
Yeah, just everything always has flashback in your graveyard, basically.
Yeah, that's
great.
But
only on your turn. So your instants, you can still only cast the sorcery speed, but
right. Well, you have combat tricks that you can do for sorceries.
Yeah.
That's not the point. This is a combo card.
Yeah.
Like your turn, you're storming off with this. This card is nuts.
I mean, but if you're comboing, why wouldn't you just play Underworld Breach? Costs 2 mana, and you get 1 turn of this.
Hold on, let me check. Well, because why wouldn't you run both?
Well, yeah, you could play both, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you would run this and that. There's another card, too, that people used to play that was older. But, no, this is good. Especially in Commander, because now you're doubling up on your insta-wins.
Yeah.
Next we have RMS Titanic. We have a legendary artifact vehicles, 4 mana, 1 red, 3 colorless. It has flying, trample. When RMS Titanic deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it and create that many treasure tokens. It's crew 3. It's a 7/1. What does it mean? Sacrifice, create that many. Is it the damages that it's dealt?
Yeah, so it's flying trample.
Yeah,
So if you
okay.
get in unblocked, you sack it, get
Yep.
7. If
Okay,
they block
that
it
makes
with
sense.
some flyer, you get like 5 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah. So you
I
want
mean,
to
it's
get
a
none.
7-1, get a bunch of treasures. So
And
it's
it's
like
the
a
same.
flying Titanic ship that blows up into a bunch of treasures.
Yeah. What's the 7-1 from Alpha Beta? That costs 3 reds. 3 reds and has trample, haste. I'm talking about.
Oh, ball lightning?
Yeah, it's a ball lightning. It's
Yeah.
literally a ball lightning.
Yeah, except for you get mana left behind.
Yeah, and it has to crew.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah, it's good. You just bring it back because it's a vehicle artifact.
Yep.
Artifact
Yep.
version.
It's not like super amazing, but it's really good with you're getting stuff for your 7-1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a ball lightning that you actually get some value back afterwards.
Yeah, and if you
Versus
just crew
going.
tap 3 shitty goblins,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, it's pretty decent. All right.
Next up, we got Ryan Sinclair. 2 and a red for a legendary creature human. It's a 2/2. Whenever Ryan attacks, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost if it's a spell with mana value less than or equal to Ryan's power. Put the exiled cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. And it's Doctor's Companion. It's a 2/2.
3 mana 2/2 Doctor's Companion.
So you attack, play some shit for free.
It's not bad. I wish I had haste.
Yeah, you definitely want to beef this up. Start casting a bunch of big things for free.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
It's pretty good as a Voltron commander.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's legendary. So
That's big shit.
if it's a spell with mana less equal to its power, yeah. If you pump this guy up, if you give him that big hammer,
Yep.
fucking 10 attack, you're looking at 12. You're getting that shit in your hand. That's good. Well, actually, no. You're casting without paying its mana cost.
Yeah,
It's even better.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this next card, dude. What the fuck?
Well, you get to read it.
All right, we have the Flux. It's a saga. So, it's 4 mana, 2 red, 2 colorless. Chapter 1, the Flux deals 4 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Pretty good. Chapter 2, 3, 4, 5 is exile top of your library. You may play that card this turn. And 6, the chapter 6 is add 6 reds. I actually like this card.
I think it's really good. I mean, 4 mana deal 4 is like an okay card. And then you get 4 impulse draws, and then you get 6 red mana on that 6th turn.
I think this is great.
This is help you win the game on turn 10 card if you could drop this on turn 4.
Yeah. Or even just ramp it out. You're getting stuff going. You got your Saw Ring out. I didn't expect this to be like this. This is actually pretty interesting. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, hit something for 4, so you get rid of the biggest threat in the early game.
Yep.
And then you get extra card draw for 4 turns, and then you get a fuck ton of mana.
Yep. I think it's great.
It's good.
I mean, especially you pair this with like a top, so you're exiling shitty cards like lands that you may not need.
Yeah.
Like you can play those, or like so it's like getting those and then playing them, and I don't know. Like if there's things that are too expensive, you can keep pushing those down,
Right.
so you're not getting rid of them. It's a good card. That we'll see play probably.
Next up, we got the Parting of the Ways. 4 red for a saga. 1, exile the top 5 cards of your library. For each non-land card exiled this way, put a number of time counters on that card equal to its mana value. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Chapter 2, time travel, then time travel again. Chapter 3, for each opponent, destroy up to 1 target artifact that player controls. So 6 mana, you get 5 cards up top of your library, suspended, up to. And then you get 2 time counters moved off of each of them on Chapter 2, and then you get to blow up artifacts.
For each non-land. I don't know, 6 mana doesn't seem super good.
Oh, well, if you hit... I mean, you're going to hit... In 5 cards, you're going to hit at least 1, right? Probably 2.
Right, well, yeah.
I don't know. Play 2 things
I mean, I like that
for free and Like, are you just gonna wait some turns and destroy?
Yeah, honestly, it's the
3
first
artifacts?
ability and the second ability that are good, and the third ability seems like whatever.
Yeah, it's just extra value. Blow up some artifacts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I like that time travel. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the best part, I think.
Yep. It's probably a staple to any of these kind of
Suspend
decks.
decks, yeah.
Yep. All right, we have the Sound of Drums. 3 mana enchantment, 1 red, 2 colorless. It's an aura. Enchant creature. Enchant creature is goaded. Oh my god. If enchanted creature would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. 3 mana, 1 red, 2 colorless. Return the Sound of Drums from your graveyard to your hand. That is a good card, dude. You double damage for 3 mana.
Yeah,
And it's goaded.
but it's bad because it's goat. Shit. I hate
Dude,
goat. It
that's
is.
a good card.
If I was gonna play a goat card, this might be the one I would play because it is pretty good. Like, you put this on your opponent's like Blightsteel. Ha, you can't attack me, and they're taking 22. Sucker.
Sucker.
But eventually, it's going to come down to 1-on-1, and they have to attack you. So
Well, that's why you pay 3, return it
from the graveyard.
from the graveyard.
Still have
So,
to get rid of it.
if you can somehow get this like on your own creature, sometimes you can just deal double damage with your.
That's true. You could put it on your own creature and just deal double
Yeah.
damage.
Yep, it doesn't need to be on your.
It just has to attack every turn, then, though.
I like it. It's got double utility. Have your opponent kill your other opponents, or you can kill your own opponents with double damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a good card. Goaded, they have to attack, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
They have to attack, and it's a player other than you, if able.
Yeah. I like it. Plus, it's goad, so goading.
Next up, we got Yasmin Khan. It's 3 in a red for a 3/3 legendary creature, human detective. Tap, exile the top card of your library. Until your next end step, you may play it.
It's a little expensive for that.
Yeah, it is a 4-mana 3/3.
4 mana 3/3, doesn't have haste, so exile top of your library. Until the next end step, you may play it.
Until your
And
next end step, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't play this. Cut. That's a cut. Like, would you play it?
I don't know. If I really needed impulse draw, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
It's repeatable, but
yeah.
I don't know. It would be one of my last cards I'm adding because I just need that effect.
I suppose.
I give it some medium.
Seems pretty
or
bad.
if you want that effect in your command zone, I guess. But still, like, there's better cards.
Much better cards. All right. Is it? We're on green now, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. We have Ace, Fearless Rebel. It's 1 forest and 3 colorless. Legendary creature, human rebel. It has Nitro 9. Whenever Ace, Fearless Rebel attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on Ace, Fearless Rebel. Then it fights up to 1 target creature defending player controls. It's a 2/2 for 4. Now, before I said sacrificing artifacts, artifact decks always want that. Green, I don't feel is the same because it is not blue, red, or white, or black.
Yeah.
I think this card is just meh.
I don't know. Second artifact, fight something. I don't. It's yeah. It's
And you get a 1/1 counter.
It's medium. It grows.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a
than
way
medium.
to break it, but
It really.
yeah, I mean, just there's that one fight thing. I mean, I'd rather just play Gargoyles or whatever than
Right.
Hydra. Just do that. But if you're playing mono green artifacts, you could maybe play this.
Mono green artifacts,
which is
what?
A niche deck. There's a couple decks.
You could do that dragon that you get a bunch of treasure tokens. That's it. That's all I'm thinking. Then this is cool with that.
Yeah.
But for fire manas, I'm sure you could just infinite.
Well, I mean, there's the green guy that makes servos too.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
All right, next up we got City of Death. 2 and a green. Chapter 1, create a treasure token. Chapter 2, create a token that's a copy of target non-saga token. That's also Chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6.
I think this card's good.
I mean, 3 mana, make a treasure, and then you're getting at least a treasure every turn.
Yeah, make a treasure, make a treasure, make a treasure, make a treasure, make a treasure.
Or if you have something good.
Yeah. Or if you have something good. I'm just thinking of your treasure deck, dude. Like, fuck that.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like, if like, you have an elf or something, make an elf, make an elf, make an elf, make an elf.
True.
Or if you get an elephant, like someone blew your shit up and gave you a 3 elephant, make an elephant, make an elephant, make an elephant.
Yeah. So. I like this card.
I think it's solid.
Mm-hmm. Definitely playable. 3 mana, you're getting a treasure token, so you're already that's adds manas. So, and it's basically slow ramp if you just copy treasure tokens. So,
yeah.
Okay. Next we have Fugitive of the Jadoon. I hope I pronounced that right. It is a 5 mana, 1 forest, 4 colorless saga. With Chapter 1, create a 1/1 white human creature with Ward 2 and a 4/4 white alien rhino creature token. Chapter 2 is Investigate. Some strange shit going on here. Chapter 3 is you may exile a human you control and an artifact you control. If you do, search your library for a doctor card and put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. Well, I like that already.
So you get a 1/1 with Ward 2 and a 4/4 white rhino.
Yep.
And then you get a clue token.
Yep.
And then you can, if you still have your shit, you exile the human and the clue for a doctor into play.
Yep. Doctor into play. I mean, it's a little setting up might be shitty. But
at least okay, so
doctor into
worst
play.
Case scenario, how good is 5 mana, get a 1/1 with Ward 2 and a 4/4? That's okay. Like it's 5.
I think it's good.
5.
I think it's good because you also have to think in green. You're probably putting this in a token deck. So
yeah, I mean, because then if they just blow it up, like you still have a 1/1 and a 4/4.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good card.
I don't think it's like amazeballs, but the fact you can put Doctor into plays, man. I guess what token decks are playing Doctors? We have to see the Doctors.
This does combo with that Saga if you played this first, because you can keep making 4/4s.
True. Oh, yeah. The last one, City of Death.
Yeah.
City of Death and the Fugitive of the Jadoon, and you're just like 4/4s forever, baby.
Yep.
Okay.
Next up, we got Graham O'Brien. 1 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature human pilot. It has Paradox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you create a food token.
And it's Doctor's Companion, too?
It's okay. Food tokens are medium, from my experience. You really need a way to break the food tokens. So
Yeah. I mean, it's whenever you cast a spell from anywhere. Oh, other than your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually less than medium for me. 2 mana, 2/2 is a bear, so.
Yeah, it's a bear with upside.
Yep. Okay. Next we have Jamie McCrimmon. 3 mana, 2/2 legendary creature, human warrior. It has trample. Whenever you cast a historic spell, Jamie McCrimmon gets +X until end of turn, where X is that spell's mana value.
Yeah, that's a beater.
Dude, that's really good.
If I play a 5-drop, it's a 7/7 trampler that turn.
Yep. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's pretty
not
good.
bad at all. Oh, thank God. You got this one.
Next up, we got Carvanasta Loyal Lupari. 4 and a green for a 5/5 legendary creature, alien dog soldier with vigilance, trample, and haste. And whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each human you control. And then it also has an adventure, which is Lupari Shield. 1 and a green for a sorcery to go on an adventure. Humans you control gain indestructible until your next turn.
Dude, why is this card so godly?
It's fucking good, right?
That's a good card.
Like 1 and a green, all my humans are indestructible. 4 in a green. It's a 5/5 vigilance trample haste, and it buffs all humans when it attacks.
This card is nuts.
It's freaking nuts.
It should be a red-white card that costs like
This could be your commander too.
Dude, this is a good card.
This could be your commander, and then you can play human tribal. And just fucking have instant to sorcery speed, indestructibility, or just fucking buff my team at hasty speed.
Oh my god. When you were reading it, I was like, where's the drawback?
There's no drawback. This card is so good.
No drawback.
And the artwork's awesome. It's a giant dog with an axe.
I know. Wow, that's a good card.
It's a fucking good card.
Like $1, dude. That's a good card.
This is a good ass card.
Mm-hmm. I want to run this in my elf deck or something.
Do it.
Okay. Next we have Leela Savateem Warrior. Savateem. All right. It's a 4 mana, 1 forest, 3 colorless, legendary creature, human warrior. Whenever an opponent draws a card, except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. It's a 3/3.
So it's a 3/3 that grows if they draw extra cards.
Seems really shitty. It seems really shitty, dude.
Yeah, if you have an opponent that you know draws a bunch of cards, it's
the last one we did was a huge dog.
Yeah, the huge dog is better than this.
I guess the huge dog buffs this, but
the huge dog does buff this. Look at that. Yeah, combo. We broke it.
We broke it. It's broken. Pack it up. Ship it out.
Next up, we got Sisterhood of Cards.
Let's just go to the next one.
1 and a green for a 0/0 cleric. It enters the battlefield with a single +1/+1 counter on it. And it has Paradox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Scuba Suspend.
It sure is.
Turn 1, search for tomorrow. Turn 2, play this. Search for tomorrow goes off on turn 3, and now you have a 2/2.
I don't know. Still, it's just okay.
You have to at least play 2, right, to make it a 2 mana 4/4 then.
Yeah. I'm sure it is pretty good though. I'm sure.
It's going to get out of hand if they don't kill it right away.
And nobody's going to see the 2 mana 1/1 and think that's a threat.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't even look very threatening. I gotta take a pause here. I need to get some water.
All right.
So I'll be right back.
All right. Next up is.
All right, we have Susan Foreman. It's a 2 mana 1/1 legendary creature Time Lord. It's 1 green, 1 colorless. If you would planeswalk, instead look at the top 2 cards of your planar deck. Put 1 on the bottom of your planar deck and the other on top, then planeswalk. And it has tap, add a green.
So that first effect only applies if you're playing Plane Chase.
Yep. It also has Doctor's Companion. When it comes to Plane Chase, it's the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that's really good if you're playing Plane Chase.
Which I do enjoy Plane Chase. That is a very fun format.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we play Plane Chase with the app. That's kind of impossible.
Well, we have the cards here, though.
Not all of them.
Well, we have a handful of them,
Yeah, we don't have all of them. But I like this card, and I do plan on getting this.
Yeah, it's a solid card. I mean, ignoring the other part, it's a 2 mana dork, which is fine.
Right. And it's legendary, so you could have this as your commander for some reason.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up we got the 5 Doctors. It's 5 and a green for a sorcery with kicker 5. Search your library and or graveyard for up to 5 Doctor cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. If the spell was kicked, put those cards onto the battlefield instead of put them into your hand. Okay,
I've kind of seen the Doctors, and for 10 mana, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it.
Would you pay 6 mana to put 5 in your hand?
Yeah, I could do that. I don't like it, so I probably wouldn't play this. But I mean, if I was playing an all-color Doctor deck, maybe. Just the Doctors aren't good enough to pay 10 mana to not win the game.
Right.
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, you don't win the game by getting them all.
Like what is the gosh darn it, you have was it Entwine?
Tooth and Nail.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Tooth and Nail. I'm so bad with names nowadays.
That's better.
Yeah, that's way better. And that costs what, 8 mana?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And this would be 11.
Way too much.
I'd rather
Dude.
play
Unless
Bright Steel.
unless all 5 Doctors magically win you the game like Exodia. All
But I
right?
don't think they do.
I don't think they do. So nope, not for me. Maybe if the kicker was 3. I don't know.
That'd still be like 9 mana. I mean, you are getting 5 permanents if you pay that, but
Yeah, 9 mana I could do. But then again, all the Doctors aren't that good. Okay, whatever.
all right. Next up, we got the Auton Soldier. It is 2 green for a 6/6 alien zombie soldier. It must be block disabled. It can't be blocked by more than one creature. And whenever it deals damage, exile it face down. It becomes foretold, and then you can foretell it for 2 and play it from foretell for 1 and a green.
I don't know how I feel about this card.
So I guess 4 mana 6/6 attack has to be blocked. It can only be blocked by 1 creature. So and then
More than 1 creature.
cannot be blocked by more than 1.
Oh yeah.
So
Foretold culture can't be blocked by more than 1.
So it has to be blocked 1/1.
You're right.
And then if they take the 6, when it deals damage, so no matter what,
Yeah.
after that you have to replay it for 2 to cast it back. Basically, because it gets exiled.
I don't really like it.
I mean, you can keep recasting it if you need the paradox to trigger over and over, but
yeah, I suppose maybe in a zombie deck too. This is decent, like a green-black zombie deck. I don't know if that exists. I don't really like it. 4 mana 6/6 is decent stats, but green is better than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The
I'd rather
next card
play
we
the
have.
giant dog.
Well, dude, it's like bringing gold to oh, look at these agates I found, or these rocks I found. Oh man, I brought gold to this party. No, I don't. Like, dude, you're finding the diamond in the rough so far over here. I didn't even expect to see a card that good here. I was like, holy shit, that's a good card.
Yeah.
Okay. The next card we have here is the Sea Devils. It's a 3 mana, 1 forest, 2 colorless saga. And the first chapter and second chapter is create a 2/2 green alien salamander creature token with Island Walk. Okay. The third chapter is until end of turn. Whenever a salamander deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to target creature that player controls.
All right. How many salamanders exist in Magic? Salamander Tribal. Let's go.
3?
Is there only 3?
I don't know. Are you looking it up?
Oops. I could look it up, but I dropped my mouse.
2/2 green alien salamander Island Walk. 0 of those have Island Walk. I guarantee that.
0 salamanders have Island Walk?
Yeah. I don't think any do. Whenever a salamander deals damage to a player, deals that much damage to target creature. This card's not good.
I know. I just want to see how many salamanders exist in Magic to make that last effect even viable. There is 13 salamanders.
What?
What? You thought it was less?
Yeah, I forgot about some of these. Salamander Wizard. Man, some of these. Salamander Pirate.
Yeah. I mean, they're blue, red, green, and black. And an artifact.
The red ones here on the 3 on the bottom here, I recognize those.
Yeah.
That artifact one looks familiar too, so. Sojourners. I don't know about no Salamander Wizard or Salamander Pirate, though. Fuck that.
So there's only 13 salamanders, so you can't make salamander tribal unless you use changelings.
This is a bad card.
It's bad. We
Super
need
bad.
more support for salamanders, Wizards. Let's
Yes,
go.
please.
Then we can make this
Not in the form of
viable.
changelings. Not in the form of changelings, please. Okay, we're done with green. That was a short green.
All right, let's go on to multicolor. First one here is Gallifrey Stands. 4 white blue for a legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, return all doctor cards from your graveyard to your hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a doctor creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Then, if you control 13 or more doctors, you win the game.
My hands are up, dude. I knew it. Now I will play the green spell.
5 color doctors, you win the game.
But it's going to be in a Joda deck. I'm bringing it back, dude, except it's going to be this, and it's going to be Joda.
Doctors.
Yep. It's going to be a Doctor Joda, because Joda just played doctors, whatever, willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And like, I'll pay the kicker, but I'm also paying 5 colorless, or 5 of each color, or 1 of each color. Easy mode. This will be in the deck. It's a legendary enchantment too, so
Yeah.
That's a great card. If you're playing all doctors,
Yep.
you need 13 of them, by the way.
Yeah.
And they cannot blow up.
Nope, they all have to be in play on your upkeep.
I'm gonna build a disaster, dude. It's gonna be a disaster.
It's gonna be fun when you win with it, though. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Spell? Nope. Okay, we lose.
But like all these doctors, they don't do anything until I play this Exodia. And it's at the beginning of the upkeep. Damn, I have to wait a whole other upkeep. I'll have to play this first.
It's more like the finals board.
Yeah. Oh God, even so slow. Jesus. All right. You good?
Yep.
All right. Oh shoot, the next card. Anyways, we have Regenerations Restored. That is a 2 mana, 1 white, 1 blue. We're on multicolor now. Enchantment with Vanishing 12. 12. That's a lot.
That's a lot of time counters.
That's a lot. Whenever 1 or more time counters are removed from Regenerations Restored, scry 1 and you gain 1 life. Then, if Regenerations Restored have no time counters on it, exile it. When you do, take an extra turn after this one. I think this card's sweet.
So you get 12 scries and 12 life and then an extra turn. It's pretty good.
I think it's excellent.
2-drop.
For a 2-drop, absolutely.
I'd play it.
Yep, I'd play it too. Scry is very important.
Plus, when you time lock it, you can start removing counters from it.
Mm-hmm. And it's in blue-white, so those are good colors. Yep. It's good for control, too. Didn't we want to know who this next person was?
Oh, yeah. Next one. Here's Rory. Goes with the
Here's Rory.
So 1 and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature, human soldier, partners with Amy. First strike, lifelink, and then it has the last centurion. When you cast this spell from anywhere other than exile it with 3 time counters on it. It gains spend, then investigate. So the first time you cast it, it goes immediately to exile.
God damn it.
Counters.
It was like, you were reading it, and I was like, this is a fucking good card. And then it was like, and it's gone. I don't like it anymore. I don't like it with the time counters. I mean, it's okay.
It's still a 2 mana 3/3 with wait 3 turns.
It just is so close to being like insane.
What did Amy Pond do again?
I don't remember, dude. That was like a million years ago. That's a million years ago. I remember I was disappointed with Amy Pond. I had to see if Rory gave her haste.
No, so this does not give it haste.
So I would say no to both of these. This card's better.
Rory is better on its own. For sure.
Yeah, he's better on his own, for sure. But he's not good either. Because you have, as soon as you play him, you can't even attack. He's just gone right away. Poof.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Unless you impulse draw it and cast it.
Yeah.
Does Amy impulse draw?
Oh. Let me see. I got her right next to me here. Partner with Rory. Whenever Amy Pond deals combat damage to a player, choose a suspended card you own and remove that many time counters on it.
Oh, so it immediately casts Rory, basically.
No, because she costs 3 and he costs 2.
Yeah, so you
That
play.
is dumb.
So you play 2, put a time, get 3 time counters on this.
Oh, you're right.
Play
You're right.
Amy,
You're totally right.
Attack with Amy, remove the time counters from it to put them into play.
And you have to hit with Amy, by the way. I think we broke the game.
It's not very good.
Meanwhile, your opponent's like, okay, Blightsteel. And you're like, oh shit, no blocks.
Yeah, your opponent's like, okay, it's turn 5, and you have a 3/3 first strike lifelink. Okay,
I'll play anything else. Oh no, dude. I'm sweating, dude. That's too funny. It's so true. It's so true. This is so painfully bad. This is what we call a noob trap.
yeah. Oh, but hey, if you want a deck that the power level's not great, like if you're sick of winning, use 80 more as your commander.
You're looking at your deck, and you're like, you're looking at your deck, and you're like, dude, how can I make my deck worse? I go from tier 1, I'm going down to tier 5 with this. Your friends will love you because they'll be like, sweet.
I mean,
unless all your friends are
like, even if you have like just like a combo shell, and then you just play the commanders to play those colors, it's still a worse deck than whatever commander you could have had there.
And now I want to say, if Rory was like a 5/5 or a 4 or like a 4.
Wait. If you play this for your command zone, it stays, right? Because that's exile, isn't it?
No, exile is its own zone.
But isn't the command zone also exile?
No, command zone is the command zone.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, please look it up, because I'm pretty sure command zone is command zone and exile is exile zone. Because if you exile your commander and don't choose to bring it to the command zone, it's exiled. Well, any verdict? All right, you ponder on that. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm pondering. Okay, so we have confirmed that if you cast from the command zone, it still is exile with 3 time counters on it.
Yep. It is its own special zone. But it's like exile, but not exile.
Yeah. All right, so not
card
good.
Sucks.
Card sucks.
Not good. Yep. Worst card ever. Worst combo ever. Seriously, it had potential. It looks cool until you get to the bottom text of Rory. Okay. I think it's up to you now, or is it me?
I don't remember. I think it's you now.
All right. So we have Sally Sparrow. It is a 4 mana, 1 white, 1 blue, 2 colorless, human detective legendary creature. You may cast creature cards as though they had flash. Whenever one or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield, investigate. This ability triggers only once per each turn, and it's a 2/3. I think this card is great. Maybe it's a little expensive for 4 mana to have creatures
Have flash.
cast as, yep. But I still think it's pretty good. Maybe not great, but good.
Yeah, it's a solid card. Plus, you get some value when some of your stuff dies. If you have a blink deck, you're going to get some
absolutely. Yep.
clues out of it.
Yep. A Brago deck would like this card, I would imagine.
Next up, we got the 8th Doctor. So here's one of the
Finally got some
doctors.
doctors. Yes, finally.
4 white blue for a 4/4 legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. When the 8th Doctor enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Once during each of your turns, you may play a historic land or cast a historic permanent spell from your graveyard. If you do, it gains, if this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So you can play lands, historic lands, and historic permanents from your graveyard.
Not bad. Not bad, especially maybe a Blink deck might want to do this. Maybe. I never watched the show at the 8th Doctor. I actually started at the 9th Doctor. So I don't know. But, what do you think?
I don't know, it's solid. I think it's an okay card. You could, I mean, being able to play shit from your graveyard is always good, right? So
You think the mana cost warrants what it does?
I don't know. I kind of wish it was like 5, but
Yeah. Seems a little pricey for...
it does get to be in your command
Really?
zone, though.
Historic land, they being able to play those, I like that better than casting the historic spell, unless you have cheap
So
historic
just play
spells.
your legendary lands.
Yeah, for sure. It's okay. Okay, so now we have the 11th Doctor. The 11th Doctor is a 3 mana, 1 white, 1 blue, 3/2 legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. He has the ability I Am Talking. Whenever the 11th Doctor deals combat damage to a player, you may exile a card from your hand with a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. And then you can pay 2 colorless. Target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn.
So you can make himself unblockable, and then you can suspend some shit.
I don't mind this guy for his mana cost. My question to you would be, if I targeted a creature with power 3 or less and it can't be blocked this turn, if after that resolves and I pump up that creature to, like, let's say a 15/15, is it still considered can't be blocked this turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I really like this card. I think he's great. And it
Yeah,
synchronizes.
because the power 3 or
effect.
less can't be blocked only matters when you act when the ability's resolving.
That's what I thought. Yep. So I think he's good. I don't think he's like the best Doctor by far, but I think he's pretty good.
No, in the show,
And he has
he's one of the best, probably.
Oh, for sure. I liked him.
I liked Matt
Yep.
Smith.
Yep.
Yeah, he's solid. I'd play him.
Yep.
I think he's better
Okay.
than the last one, the 8th Doctor.
Yep, I agree. And he's a 3 mana 3/2, so with unblockable for 2. So
All right. Next up, we got the 5th Doctor. 2 white blue for a 2/2 legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. Peaceful coexistence. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1 counter on each creature you control that didn't attack or enter the battlefield this turn, and then untap those creatures.
Okay, when I first read this card, I thought he was amazing because I thought he would put a 1/1 counter on himself when you play him. No, he does not. Because it's a 1/1 counter on each creature you control that didn't attack or enter the battlefield this turn.
Yes.
So I actually don't like this Doctor at all.
So he's good basically with tap effects because you can untap him. I put 1/1 counters on him.
After they got a 1/1 counter on him. He's too slow. Might as well just play Brago.
Well, it triggers the soon turn you play him.
No. At the beginning of your at your end
everything else you have out that didn't attack. Yeah. So if you
or
have a
didn't
bunch
come
of
into play this turn.
Yeah, so if you have a bunch of pingers out and you ping for like 3, and then end step they all untap, get a 1/1.
Yeah, I mean he's not the worst. He's not the worst Doctor, but when I first read
it's definitely slow.
Yeah, it's too slow. I think, especially for 4 mana and a 2/2. If he was like a 2/4, I'd be like, oh, that's much better, you know. But he has like no butt. Like he's just gonna get pinged easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my opinion on this Doctor. Should I go into the next one?
Yep.
All right, we have the first Doctor. He's OG. He's got to be good, right? So 3 mana, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. When the first Doctor enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a card named TARDIS. Reveal it and put it in your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. Whenever you cast a spell with Cascade, put a 1/1 counter on target artifact or creature. 2/2. He's a 2/2.
So you get the TARDIS
Yep.
automatically, and then whenever you Cascade, you get 1/1 counters. That's pretty good.
I think he's pretty decent. I think because you can search for the TARDIS, which the TARDIS is pretty decent. The rest is whatever. 3 mana search for TARDIS. There's other cards like that, but you also get a body with this.
You don't want the build around the Cascade effect. Just every time you Cascade, you buff something.
Well, it's okay. It's just more bonus stuff to that.
Okay.
I don't think you need to really build around that. You could, but for white and blue, meh.
All right. Next up, we got the second Doctor. 2 white-blue for a 2/4 legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. Players have no max hand size. How civil of you. At the beginning of your end step, each player may draw a card. Each opponent who does can't attack you or permanents you control during their next turn.
This is a really good gate card. So you're going to be protecting yourself with this, I think. People are going to want to draw cards, and if they don't, they can't attack you.
Yep.
It's a really good control card. This is one of the better ones. And you have no maximum hand size, just a bonus to the rest of the abilities, I think.
Yeah.
And he has a big butt, so he's not going to get bolted easy or, attack with some lowly 3/3 Dalek. So I think he's a good card. Now we have the 7th Doctor. He's a 5 mana, 1 white, 1 blue, 3 colorless, legendary creature. Whenever the 7th Doctor attacks, choose a card in your hand. Defending player guesses whether that card's mana value is greater than the number of artifacts you control. If they guess wrong, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast a spell this way, investigate. So put a clue token in. 5 mana, 3/6.
Higher or lower than the amount of artifacts I have in play.
Yeah, and he's got a question mark.
So no matter what, you get a clue token. But if they guess it wrong, you get the spell instead. Like worst case, you get a clue.
You have to have a lot of artifacts out. Or God, this is more mind game stuff.
If you have a lot, they're just gonna always choose this last.
No, yeah, you have to have the right amount.
Yeah,
that's the mind game. So you want maybe 6 out, maybe,
or 5 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 4, 4 to 6 would probably be a good amount. I guess it depends on how high you what if you just have tons of big artifacts and you're playing a bunch of clues.
Yeah,
that's true. Then they can just keep guessing wrong, and you're just casting fucking 11/11s, 15/15 shit.
Yeah.
But that only works once. The next time they play, it's not gonna work.
Right.
So I like this Doctor if you bring a surprise deck.
Yeah.
This is a surprise factor. I'm gonna play in a new play group. I'm bringing the 7th Doctor.
Or if you build it where X amount of the cards you just switch out in between games. You have multiple deck list versions that it could be.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. All right, next up.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Nope. That's it.
All right, next up we got Blink. 2 blue-black for a saga. First one is choose target creature. Its owner shuffles it into their library, then investigates. Chapter 2 is create a 2/2 black alien angel artifact creature token with first strike, vigilance, and whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, this permanent isn't a creature until end of turn. And then Chapter 3 goes back to the first thing, where they choose target creature, its owner shuffles its library, and they investigate. And then Chapter 4, you get a 2/2 angel with first strike, vigilance, and when they cast this creature spell, this permanent isn't a creature until end of turn. So you're making the angels that when they cast spells, they get seen and turn off for a minute.
I like how this bounces between the two.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's good lore. Do I think the card is amazing or anything? Nah. I like the shuffling it into the library.
Shuffle 2 things away.
The shuffle is good.
And you get 2 2/2s with first strike and vigilance.
Yeah, then that's true.
Granted, they get shut off for a turn when they play something, but
yeah, whenever they cast a creature spell. I just don't like the second ability, but the first one's pretty good. And I like how it bounces between the two. It's a good flavorful card.
Yeah.
And for 4 mana, it's not the worst, especially for shuffling.
And that was a really creepy episode.
I mean, I know. I mean, to be honest, I would pay 3 to shuffle a card, like a creature.
Yeah.
So I think for
Pretty
4
good.
mana, doing 2 is pretty good. Let's see. We have Rasilion, the War President. He's a 5 mana, 1 black, 1 blue, 3 colorless Time Lord Noble. He's legendary. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life and exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each non-creature spell you cast from exile has Conspire. As you cast that spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a color with it. When you do, copy it, and you may choose new targets for that copy. It's a 3/4. I think this card's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking good, right? Like, so every
Yeah.
upkeep you lose 2 and draw a card, basically. And then
Yep.
when you cast something from there, you could conspire to copy it.
I think it's good.
That's really good, I think.
Yep. And I think the mana cost in the attack and defense is pretty decent.
And it's definitely a commander you can build around.
Yep.
Cool, cool
that is
things.
a build around card right there. I like it.
It's a good one.
Oh, I like this card.
Next up is the Cyber Controller. X and blue, black. For a 3/3 legendary artifact creature, that is the Cyberman. When the Cyber Controller enters the battlefield, each opponent mills X cards. Put all creature cards milled this way onto the battlefield, face down under your control. They become 2/2 Cyberman artifact creatures. Other artifact creatures you control, or other artifact creatures you control, get +1/+1.
See, this is not a mill card. This is just in my opinion, a powerhouse, dude.
Dude, yeah, because you're gonna play this your commander. You're gonna play this, build a bunch of Cybermen up, and then you're gonna have that other guy that I said earlier that could turn face down, face up.
Yep.
That's blue.
And you're gonna get all those cards.
Yep.
I didn't even think of that when I was first. I just thought as a standalone card,
but it's still good because it makes a bunch of 3/3s. Like,
yep. Like this gets rid of decks that use the graveyard unless they kill the thing, obviously, or whatever. But like you're just playing this probably for 6 if you can. Like you can build it up for that. You want to just mill as many cards, and it's each opponent.
Yep.
It's not just one opponent. So this is a good powerhouse, I think.
Yeah, this is a sweet card.
Mm-hmm.
For the Cyberman deck.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, next we have the Master Formed Anew. It is a 1 black, 1 blue legendary creature Time Lord Rogue. It's a 0/1. It has Body Thief. When you cast a spell, you may exile a creature you control and put a takeover counter on it. When you have the Master Formed Anew, enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature in exile with a takeover counter on it. So it may enter the battlefield as a copy. That's pretty good.
So basically, you exile a creature you control, and then you can make this a copy of it.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good.
Why is that good?
I think there's some sort of combo with it. I think I'm onto some sort of combo with this. I can't think of the exact thing, but so when you cast this, you may exile a creature you control and put a takeover counter on it. If you can, well, I guess.
I mean, you copy an ETB, but like you're still just having your own creature still.
But if you can keep flickering it and exiling different ones of your own cards, and it comes in, you can like basically like Swiss Army knife your own creatures.
But you're losing your creatures when you do that because they're exiled. And then this is turning into it.
I suppose, but if this is your commander, it's kind of like Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it comes in and then it's like, which one do I want? And you don't have to.
Yeah, that's true because like they'll stay with the takeover counter forever. So like,
that's what I'm thinking. I think there's something with this.
You could keep changing it into something else, but
yeah, like what's the best for this situation that I've already exiled? You know, do I think it's like the best card? No, it's just I think there's something there with that because it's only 2 mana for a 0/1 that can do this. So there's something unique about it.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's only black and blue. I wish it was like maybe one more color.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's a build around card, I think.
Next up, we got the Master Mesmerist. It is 2 blue and a black for a 3/3 legendary creature Time Lord Rogue. With tap, target creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the Master's power gains Skulk until end of turn, and then goat it. And whenever a creature with Skulk deals combat damage to one of your opponents, put a +1/+1 counter on the Master and draw a card.
Okay, so Skull can't be blocked by creatures with greater power.
Yeah, so you're goading something, your opponent controls like a 1/1, and then they hit somebody with it, and you get a +1 counter and draw a card.
Yeah, unless you pump it. I think it's just okay. It's 4 mana. It's a little too expensive for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's medium.
Yeah. All right, next we have the Weeping Angel. 3 mana, 1 colorless, 1 blue, 1 black. It is an artifact creature, alien angel. It has flash. It's a 2/2. It has first strike and vigilance. Those are a good combo. Whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, Weeping Angel isn't a creature until the end of turn. If Weeping Angel would deal combat damage to a creature, prevent that damage, and that creature's owner shuffles it into their library. I like this card. I like it because it has flash. So they can already finish casting, blah, blah, blah. Then they can attack. When they attack, you flash that into play, and it shuffles it into their library.
Yep.
I think it's a good
good
card. It's not like...
And it does have
breaking.
first strike, so it's going to shuffle it in before your
Yep,
goes away.
And it's not going to die. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is an excellent card. This is better than what's that 3 mana vampire guy?
Nighthawk.
First strike. Yeah, it's better than Nighthawk, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, does Nighthawk get Death Touch?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they both have their own utility, but this shuffles it in, which I think is better. It's a good card.
I think it's really good. Next
up,
I
want to get a
we got the Cycrox Commander. 2 black-red for a 4/2 alien soldier with first strike and haste. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent faces a villainous choice. That opponent discards all the cards in their hand and then draws that mini card -1. Or this deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand.
Not bad. And it has haste. Let's see. If this attacks you, what would you choose?
If my hand was shit, I would just draw a new hand -1. But otherwise, I would just take however many cards.
Yeah, honestly, I think most players, unless their hand's good, are going to pick the top one. If their hand's good, they're going to obviously pick the bottom one.
Right.
This is better to play when players have less cards in their hand, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they're going to lose cards.
Right.
It's like, let's say you attack you have 3 cards in your hand. Then you're going to go to 2. Right. That's not very good. Unless you have nothing in your hand, like all lands.
Right.
I think it's okay. It's not like spectacular or anything. It doesn't have trample.
It's solid. Like, it's an okay card.
Yeah.
So.
I also wish it was like a 5/1 or something. Like 2 is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Oh, this next card, I like this card. But you have to have ways to really abuse it. The next card is the Beast, Deathless Prince. It's a 4 mana, 1 red, 1 black, 2 colorless demon, legendary demon. It's a 6/6. When you cast a spell, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains menace and haste until end of turn. The Beast enters the battlefield tapped with 6 stun counters on it. If it would become untapped, remove a stun counter from it instead. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to its owner, untap the Beast and draw a card. I like this card.
So you're going to gain control of their best thing in his menace haste. So you're most likely going to be down to 5 counters and draw a card. But if you have a lot of threat effects around it, it could be good.
Yep. And every time it would untap from your untap step, it's going to let you draw another card. Oh, no. That's when it deals combat damage. No, it's going to remove a stun counter. So 4 mana, 6/6. But I like mostly for the 4 mana gain control of a creature and it gains menace and haste.
Yeah.
If it didn't have menace and just haste, I don't think it would be as good. But the menace part really...
You could definitely play this as your commander and do threaten.deck.
Yep, absolutely.
Every card that does that.
Yep, absolutely. So, I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely unique. So
yeah, it's definitely a unique card. Next up, we got the Dalek Emperor. It is 5 black-red for a 6/6 legendary artifact creature Dalek. There's affinity for Daleks. Other Daleks you control have haste, At the beginning of combat on your turn, each opponent faces a villainous choice. They sacrifice a creature they control, or you create a 3/3 Dalek with Menace.
Okay, this card, this is the Dalek commander, dude.
Yeah.
This is sweet.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're going to sack creature or give me a 3/3 with Menace? And it's going to have fucking haste.
Exactly. Like, the choices here are actually good choices for you. Like, it's not like
like either way it's good.
Mm-hmm. I like this one. An affinity for Daleks.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Dalek Tribal, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Exterminate!
Exterminate! You have to say that every time you attack with a Dalek. Yeah. It's true. All right, the next card we have is the Master, Gallifrey's End. So it's a 4 mana, 1 black, 1 red, legendary creature, Time Lord Rogue, 4/3. Make them pay. It's the ability. Whenever a non-token artifact creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, choose an opponent with the most life among your opponents. That player faces a villainous choice. They lose 4 life, or you create a token that's a copy of that card. It's whatever. It's good in a sacrifice deck. Whenever a non-token artifact creature you control dies.
Yeah, they lose 4. Or you make a copy.
Yeah, if you're constantly sacking artifacts, this can be pretty brutal. If you have a way to keep doing it.
Yeah. It's pretty good in like an aristocrat deck.
Yeah. But for red-black aristocrats, I think you can do something better.
Right.
Okay.
Next up, we got the Master Multiplied. There's 4 black-red for a 4/3 legendary creature, Time Lord Rogue, with Myriad. And the legend rule doesn't apply to creature tokens you control. And triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature tokens you control.
Dude, this is a good card.
So you attack, you get the Myriad, and they're not going to get sacrificed from the Myriad trigger at the end step. So you're going to keep making more and more copies of them.
Triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature token. This is a good fucking card, dude.
Yeah, so you're going to attack with a 4/3, and you're going to get 4/3 for every one of your dudes. And then the next turn, you're going to attack with a 4/3. You're going to get 4/3 for every one of them. Oh, and they all have Myriad, so you'll get them.
I know.
It's going to
this
keep multiplying.
This is literally nuts. Can you imagine protecting this guy and just like going off?
Well, so the first swing you just have the 4, but the next swing you have what? 4 times 4, so you're 16.
What does Myriad do exactly?
You get a copy attacking each opponent.
Does Myriad trigger after Myriad?
It triggers when you attack.
No. Oh, okay. So it's the active attacking. Yep,
yeah. So you have 4 the first time, and the next turn you're going to have 16 because all 4 are going to make 4. Make 3. Correct. No, they're going to make 3. So you're going to have 3 times 4. It's 12.
12.
And then the next turn you're going to have 3 times the 12.
24, 36.
But people are just going to start dying to all the fucking copies.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. This is a good card. This can win on its own.
Yeah.
If you can protect it or like something.
And it could be your commander.
I know. This card is going for like $6 right now.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be kill on sight over and over and over.
Yeah.
Because like, even if one token lives, they can just keep making more. Like,
I know.
It's going to be like...
And it's your commander.
It's going to be like Scoot Swarm that just gets out of control.
Yeah, this is good.
And if you have multiple attacks, that's really going to be nuts.
Oh, yeah, because it's red and black, so you get an extra combat?
Yeah, and just keep making more.
I want to build this as my commander, dude. This looks fun.
Just keep making more and more copies until your brain hurts.
Dude, get the calculator out. Jesus Christ. I like the description, too. Breaking news. I'm everyone, and everyone in the world is me.
Yep.
Love it. That's an A+ card.
Yeah, that's fucking so good.
Yeah, and it's unique, but the legend rule doesn't apply.
Yep.
Especially on a creature. So, sweet. Okay. Next we have Last Night Together. We have a green, red, and 3 colorless cards, so 5 mana, sorcery. Choose 2 target creatures, untap them. Put 2 1/1 counters on each of them. They gain Vigilance, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase. Only the chosen creatures can attack during that combat phase. That's a good card. Obviously, you choose your best 2 creatures.
Yeah, you get to swing a second time with them.
And it's red and green, so that's really good for red and green.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good card.
Nothing else to that. It doesn't even need to be an instant. Just play on your second main phase.
Next up, we got Strax, the Sontran Nurse. Sontaranin? I don't know, whatever, nurse.
Sontarian.
Yeah, Sontarian. Okay. 3 red-green for a 5/5 alien cleric, legendary creature. This guy's dope in the show when he becomes a nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Vigilance, so 5/5 Vigilance, trample for 5. Grenades, pay 2, tap, sacrifice an artifact, choose a player at random. When you do, Strax fights another target creature that player controls, or Glory of Battle. Whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Not bad. And the stats, 5 mana, 5/5, Vigilance, Trample, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and if you
sacrifice an artifact at random, you're going to definitely manipulate that where you're only having 1 artifact out at a time.
Well, no, it's sacrifice an artifact. You choose a player at random.
Player. Sorry,
and you fight
read a little fast there.
Control, yeah.
Yep.
But so basically, it's if there's one big thing you don't want to swing into, you just do that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. It's not like super amazing, but the stats and the Vigilance and Trample all fit together.
Yeah.
Now we have the Fugitive Doctor. That's a 5 mana, 1 green, 1 red, 3 colorless, legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor 4/4. When the Fugitive Doctor enters the battlefield, investigate. When the Fugitive Doctor attacks, you may sacrifice a clue. When you do, target instant sorcery in your graveyard gains flashback 4 until end of turn, with 2 colorless, a red, and a green.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. Yeah, pretty good, because flashback and red and green, pretty rare.
Yeah, plus, you just have to set a clue for that, so.
Yep. And it comes into play with a clue, and red and green can do well with clues. I think that's pretty decent.
It's a cool card.
Yep. Stats are almost close enough to be like on par, but yeah, it's good.
Next up, we got Sergeant John Benton. 1 green white for a 2/4 legendary creature human soldier with trample and haste. And it has sheer intelligence. When it deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards.
Group Hug. Don't really like Group Hug.
I mean, they are still taking the damage, but
but you don't want your opponent
if it's your commander.
True, but you don't ever want your opponents to draw cards.
That's true.
Unless you're specific, like, oh, I'm going to attack you, so you can draw cards, and I can draw cards. We're going to help each other. That's Group Hug. I don't like it.
But what if you Voltron this into like a 21? Like, if you take it, we're both drawing 21 cards, but you lose.
I don't think so, bro. You know the option. I'm blocking. Let's see. We have The Curse of the Fenric. This is a saga that costs 1 green, 1 white, and 2 colorless. The first chapter is for each player, destroy up to 1 target creature that player controls. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 3/3 green mutant creature token with Death Touch. Second chapter is target non-token creature becomes a 6/6 legendary horror creature named Fenric and loses all abilities. The third chapter is target mutant fights another target creature named Fenric. Or target mutant fights another creature named Fenric. I don't mind this card. 4 mana. You're going to destroy a target creature a player controls. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 3/3 green mutant creature token with Death Touch. But I don't know. I mean,
you blow up their good things and make 3/3s with Death Touch.
Mm-hmm.
You blow up your worst thing, make a 3/3. Then you make anything on the board a 6/6 with no abilities, and then you have someone's 3/3 fight that 6/6 probably to die.
Well, with this, I'm thinking about it in a token deck where you don't even need to blow your own thing up. Just give them the Death Touches or whatever, or just 1, and then you make your own shitty 1/1 token into a 6/6 horror.
Yeah, but then
I mean, I guess if you turn
you have to have something fight it though. And the mutants have Death Touch, so it's good.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I suppose. I still think it's just. I guess it's interesting. You'd have to really think about the gameplay with that.
Basically, I think it's remove the best 3 things in play. Take it 3. So it's like Beast Within the best things. 3 of the best things, right? Because each player.
Yeah.
Then you make the best thing still in play a 6/6 for a turn and hope that doesn't fucking hit you for 6. And then you have a mutant fight that 6/6 so they kill each other. So there's 1/3/3 left.
Yeah, now that you're reading it like that, like I think it's a little too slow.
It's slow. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, if they didn't have Death Touch, but because they do, it totally.
Or I mean, if you have a way, you're right. Like if you could just be like, make you get a bunch of 3/3s with Death Touch, whatever. Make mine do a 6/6. If you have a way to sacrifice this enchantment, so you never have that 3rd chapter hit.
Yeah, because it's for each player too. Yeah.
Or if you keep flickering it back.
That seems a little silly. Yeah. What's this one here?
Next up, we got Vrestin, the Menopatra.
Menoptra.
X green white for a 0/0 legendary creature alien insect scout with flying. Enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters. When it enters the battlefield, create X/1/1 green and white alien insect creature tokens with flying. And whenever you attack with one or more insects, put a +1/+1 counter on each of them. Holy shit!
This is a really good card. This is back to that 5 mana 5/5.
Yeah, this is so good.
This is really good. This is especially good if you can use what was that one card that gives your stuff Convoke?
Yeah.
This is good. Man. This is a tokens fucking
this
green,
is like,
dude.
Token like a Hornet Queen deck, basically.
Yeah. This is like better than Hornet Queen. Hornet Queen, while they have Death Touch, you're summoning more with this.
Yeah, but then when you attack with them, they all get 1/1 counters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good card.
Yep.
All right. Next we have Frostfair Lurefish. It's a 7 mana, 1 red, 1 blue creature fish. When Frostfair Lurefish enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens and 2 tapped treasure tokens. Fish you control have haste and can't be blocked by humans. It has Foretell for 5, 1 red, 1 blue, and 3 colorless. It's a 7/7. I don't really like this card.
No, I think it's bad.
I guess fish you control have haste, and it's a fish, so it has haste.
Yeah.
Still kind of bad. 7 mana for do nothing.
Well, I mean, you get 2 fish and 2 treasures.
And can attack with the 2 fish and this fish.
Yeah.
It's better for the Foretell cost for sure.
Right.
But it's not game winning. I don't know. It seems expensive for not game winning.
Next up, we got Heaven Sent, a blue and a red for a saga. First chapter and the second chapter are investigate, so you make clues. Chapter 3, deal 1 damage to each opponent. Then, if an opponent has 0 or less life, draw 7 cards. Otherwise, exile this, and you may cast it this turn.
0 or less life. Okay.
So if they die.
I guess this can be.
But basically, it's 2 mana, make 2 clues, and then you can recast it for 2 mana on the 3rd mode after everyone takes 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's not horrible.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's 2 mana, make 2 clues, ping everyone for 1. Like,
yep.
Keep doing it.
And for 2 mana, it's not bad at all, actually.
Yeah, it's repeatable.
Yep.
And if the 1 damage does kill someone, you get to draw 7 off of it.
Yep.
So.
And then Ben has that mono red deck, but this is red blue. But if he did turn it into that, really ramp it up. Okay, we have Idris, Soul of the TARDIS. This is a 3 mana, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless legendary creature, human incarnation. It's a 3/3 with Vanishing 3. Imprint. When Idris, Soul of the TARDIS, enters the battlefield, exile another target you control until this leaves the battlefield. Idris has all activated and triggered abilities of the exiled card and gets +X/+X, where X is the exiled card's mana value. Not bad. God, yeah, this is not bad. I mean, it's got Vanishing 3, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it has all the abilities of it, right?
Right.
And
Like
then it
even
gets
like
bigger.
Planar Portal or whatever, it's getting +6/+6 and has the abilities if need be, or you can swing for it. And it'd be a 9/9 swinger.
Yeah. And then if they kill it, you get your thing back.
Yep. Not bad. Especially for 3 mana.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like Vanishing 3, like I said before, Vanishing, like creatures in Commander aren't staying around that long. Most likely. I would say Vanishing 3 is like the minimum. You know, like if this was Vanishing 2, it'd be garbage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, we got Jenny Flint. 1 blue and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature, human detective. Partners with Madame Vostra. First strike, it has training, so when it attacks with another creature with greater power, you put a +1 counter on this creature. And then whenever you sacrifice a clue or a food, you put a +1 counter on another target creature you control.
Well, food and clue you have to pay mana for, right?
Yeah. Unless you sack it to some other effect.
Not horrible, I suppose. Not super good. The first strike is alright for 3 mana 2/2.
It's not bad. It has a lot of effects for a 3 mana 2/2.
It does. So it's not bad. You just have to utilize how to sacrifice clues and foods
Right.
quickly and make a lot of them. All right. This song is fucking good. This card is really good. I read the card beforehand. The next card is River Song. It's a 3 mana, 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 blue, legendary creature, Time Lord Rogue, human. Me in reverse. You draw cards from the bottom of your library rather than the top. And then there's spoilers. Whenever an opponent scries, surveils, or searches the library, put a 1/1 counter on River Song. Then River Song deals damage equal to that player equal to its power. It's a 2/2. This is an excellent card.
Yep. So you draw cards to the bottom of your deck. So all the cards that make you put stuff on the bottom, you now know what you're going to draw.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people scry, they surveil, and they search the library. So she's going to get stronger, and it's going to deal damage to them.
Yep.
It's an excellent card.
Sweet card.
Yep, it's going for like $4 right now. So, all right.
Next card we got is Run for Your Life. 1 blue and 1 red for an instant. 1 or 2 target creatures each gain haste until end of turn. They can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. And then it has Escape, which is you can pay 2 blue and a red and exile 4 of their cards from your graveyard to cast it from its graveyard.
I like this card for just 1 red, 1 blue.
Yeah, I mean they gain haste and can't be blocked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make them into gingerbread effects.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, this next card I like a lot. It's because it's unique.
Oh,
so the next card, the next card is the 9th Doctor. It is a red, a blue, and a colorless. It's a Time Lord, so it's legendary. It has haste and it has Into the TARDIS. Whenever the 9th Doctor becomes untapped during your untapped steps, you get an additional upkeep step after this step. I think this is a build around card.
Doubles your upkeep.
Yep, this is an upkeep deck.
Haze.
Yep, Paradox Haze. I don't know how many other
enchantments that trigger during your upkeep.
Well, since he's just red and blue, you would just have red and blue ones.
Yeah.
But anything else that's upkeep during your upkeep, this card.
And there's the blue Sphinx that gives you an untap upkeep and draw.
Yep. There's just not many that give you a lot of upkeep steps, and this is every time he becomes untapped during your untapped steps. That is so cool. I like this card.
Double upkeep.
All right. Oh, we are in Mythics now. Oh, wait, we got 1 Mythic. Okay.
Yeah, they're mixed in. So next, we got the 10th Doctor, the one everyone loves, right? David Tennant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 3 blue and a red for a 3/5 legendary creature Time Lord Doctor with Auton Z.
Alonzi.
Whenever you attack, exile cards to the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Put 3 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. And Timey Wimey pays 7. Time travel 3 times. Activates a sorcery.
Definitely a build around card for suspend.
Yep.
I don't think he's amazing or anything, but he is a build around with suspend, so
Yeah, you can
it
definitely
could be good.
suspend a bunch of cool cards.
Yep. Wow. One of the versions of this is going for $633. Okay, dude.
Is that like the fancy one that you can only get in the collector's
Yeah, it's the
pack?
fancy.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the numbered one.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the 12th Doctor. It is a 5 mana, red, blue, and 3 colorless legendary creature. The first spell you cast from anywhere other than your hand each turn has Demonstrate. When you cast a spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. Whenever you copy a spell, put a 1/1 counter on the 12th Doctor. This is another build around card. I don't think he's super good, but I don't know.
Yeah, you got to keep
I don't,
copying. It does have demonstrate, but it sucks that
yeah,
your opponent gets to do it then.
yeah,
If you
exactly,
want to
exactly.
copy
Now,
that
if
way.
we're playing if you're playing, no, I just don't even know. It's a build around card.
Next
I
up, we
wouldn't
got
copy it.
dinosaurs on a spaceship. 4 red white for a 7/7 dinosaur with vigilance and trample. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1, have vigilance and trample. This has suspend for 4 turns for 3 red and a white. And whenever a time counter is removed from dinosaurs on a spaceship while it's exiled, create a 2/2 red and white dinosaur creature token with flying and haste.
What the fuck?
I got flying haste dinos, and I have vigilance trample dinos, and I have vigilance trample flying haste dinos when this enters after that.
This is a good card. You could build around this. You could put it in the egg deck.
Yeah.
This is
You could
this is
just
top
spend it
tier.
and just get a bunch of 2/2 hasters. Like,
Yep. I really like this card. This has a lot of potential as just being a standalone card, or with the egg deck. It's better than some of the other dinosaurs printed in the old times.
this is a cool card.
Yep.
And it's a sweet name. It's Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Yeah, not going to see that too often. And it's not legendary. It's just a sweet card.
Yep.
All right, next we have Jenny Generated Anomaly. It is a 4 mana, 2/3, but it is a red, white, and 2 colorless legendary creature. It has double strike, and whenever Jenny deals combat damage to a player, it explores. Reveal the top card of your library. If the card, put that card in your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on this creature and then put it back or put it in your graveyard. This is a great card. So whenever it deals damage to a player, it explores, and it can get stronger or puts it in your hand. For red white, I would run this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got the Day of the Doctor, 3 red white for the saga. Chapter 1, 2, and 3 are exile cards to the top of your library until you exile a legendary card. You may play that card for as long as the Day of the Doctor remains on the battlefield to put the rest of those exile cards in the bottom of your library in a random order. And then chapter 4 is choose up to 3 doctors. You may exile all other creatures. If you do, the Day of the Doctor deals 13 damage to you.
Well, you also have to note that you have to cast the cards. You cannot. It's not cast for free.
Right.
I don't really care for this card. Choose up to 3 doctors. You may exile all
it
other
helps you
creatures.
find doctors if you're trying to get the doctor.
Yeah, if you're in a doctor deck, don't do a doctor deck.
Thought you were going
Okay.
to.
Well, the more I'm reading, the more I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I'll just have the win all in there with the doctors and Joda. That's all I really need. Don't need this other mishmash stuff. All right, so we have the War Doctor next. That is a 4 mana, 3/5. It is a red, white, and 2 colorless card, legendary creature. Whenever one or more other permanents phase out, or whenever one or more other cards are put into exile from anywhere, put a time counter on the War Doctor. Whenever the War Doctor attacks, deals damage equal to the number of time counters on it to any target. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead.
That's pretty sweet.
It is actually pretty sweet, and it has a lot of utility.
It's really good when you're suspending things because you can put time counters on it that way.
Notice that one card that suspends a bunch of creatures, but I guess that would suspend this one. Oh, no, they phase out. That one phases them out. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Next up is Dugan, Private Detective. It is 2 green and a blue for a star legendary creature, human detective. Dugan's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand, and whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you investigate, just like a clue. And it has pay 1 and a green, tap it, deal damage equal to twice its power to another target creature. Activate only once in the game.
Not bad. You have a lot of cards in your hand, no max hand size, it could be pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I suppose just standalone, though. It's 0/0 dies right away. No. It's not bad. I like the 2 mana tap, deal damage equal to twice the power of the target.
Yeah, it sucks you only do it once, though.
Yeah. But you're tapping it anyway, so you'd have to untap it.
Right.
So. All right, next we have Lunar Hatchling. It's a 6 mana, 6/6 alien beast. It is a green, blue, and 4 colorless. It has Flying, Trample, Basic Land Cycling for 2, and Escape for 6, which is 4, and a green and a blue. Exile land you control. Exile 5 other cards from your graveyard.
So 6/6 Flying, Trample, Basic Land Cycling. You can escape it
pretty
later.
much. Pretty
if
much.
you cycle it,
yeah.
you can still play it for escape later.
Yep. I like it for the basic land cycling, to be honest.
It's not bad.
Nope. It's not super good, but because it's 6 mana. But it has Flying and Trample and Escape.
Next up, we got Madame Vastra. 2 green, blue for a 3/3 that partnered with that Jenny. It's a 3/3 legendary creature, Lizard Detective. Must be blocked if able. And whenever a creature dealt damage by Madame Vestra this turn dies, create a clue and create a food.
I don't know. It has to be blocked if able.
Yeah.
Whenever creatures dealt damage, you can create a food token. It's just okay. Nothing spectacular. Honestly, this is kind of vanilla to me, that one. What about you? You think same thing? Or?
Yeah, it's just medium.
Yep. All right, we have the 4th Doctor. That's a 4 mana 4/4, and it's a blue, a green, and 2 colorless. Legendary creature, obviously, because of Doctor. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and it has the ability, would you like a, ? Once each turn, you may play a historic land or cast a historic spell from the top of your library. When you do, create a food token. It's okay. I mean, historic, historic spell.
Play historic spells.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the top of your library time. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wish it put a 1/1 counter on them, but I'll take the food token, I suppose.
All right, next up is the 6th Doctor. 4 green and a blue. 3/3 Time Lord Doctor, legendary creature. Time Lord's prerogative. When you cast a historic spell, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. This ability triggers only once each turn.
I like this one. I like this one not as a commander, unless you have a pure legendary deck. Because historic spells have to be legendary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just have this in your deck and just like casting it, and you're copying spells with it, that's pretty good then. Unless you make a pure legendary deck.
Yep.
Probably a build around. I really like this card.
All right, we gotta pause for a sec.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. The next card we have here is the Third Doctor. I like this card. This is a 4 mana, a 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue legendary creature. Trample, 2/2. The Third Doctor gets +1/+1 for each non-creature token you control. When the Third Doctor enters the battlefield, create your choice of a clue, a food, or a treasure token. This is a quite strong card, I think, if you make a ton of the clues or foods or treasures and use that dragon that you just put a bunch of tokens in, you're going to be looking real good with this beefcake over here.
Yeah, he's going to get bigger for every token you have. That's not a creature. That's pretty good.
Non-creature, yes. He's going to be a fat boy.
He's going to get beefy.
Beefy. Yep, I really like this one.
All right. Next up is the 13th Doctor. 1 green blue for a 2/2 legendary creature Time Lord Doctor. A paradox, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And Team TARDIS, at the beginning of your end step, untap each creature you control that has a counter on it.
Not bad whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. So, you have Suspend, you have things you're casting from Foretell, anything like that. That's pretty good. And then you get to keep on tapping those creatures. Yep.
Yep.
Next we have Ashad, the Lone Cyberman. He is a 4 mana, 1 red, 1 black, 1 blue, 1 colorless legendary artifact creature Cyberman. He's a 3/3. The first non-legendary artifact spell you cast each turn has Casualty 2. As you cast it, you may sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater. When you do, copy it. A copy of an artifact spell becomes a token. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, put a 1/1 counter on Ashad, the Lone Cyberman.
Alright, so first non-legendary artifact spell you cast each turn is Casualty 2. So you sack something, make a copy of it. That's pretty good. And when you sack creatures, this gets bigger.
Yep. Not bad.
It's pretty cool.
Yep, and, the blue and black, they like to sacrifice artifacts, so red can do the same thing. So that's a really good card.
Cyberman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we got the Cult of Sakaro. It is 1...
Skaro.
Oh, Skaro.
Yep.
1 blue, black, red, so Grixis for a 4/4 legendary artifact creature. That's a Dalek. Whenever it attacks, choose one at random. Thay, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature you control. Can.
Maybe it's even sand. I don't know.
Draw 2 cards. Sec, create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace. Or what is that one? Fast?
It looks like fast, yep.
Each opponent loses 4 life.
This is a good card.
Yeah. You get a cool effect either way.
Honestly, the worst comes to worst, it's like you're probably just drawing 2 cards just to get the card advantage. Like, it's like gonna block, gonna die. Everyone's at healthy. Draw 2 cards. Create a 2/2 or create a 3/3. That's good too. Put a 1/1 counter on each artifact. That includes itself.
Yeah.
This is a great card. This is also a build around card.
Yep.
Let's see. Yep. Next we have Davros, Dalek Creator. This is a Grixis 4 mana, so red, black, blue, 1 colorless, 3/4 menace, legendary artifact creature. At the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace if an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn. Then, each opponent who lost 3 or more life this turn faces a villainous choice. You draw a card, or that player discards a card.
I mean, eventually they'll just keep choosing to discard a card because they'll have no cards,
but... Yep. But at the beginning of your end step, you're creating a 3/3 black artifact creature token with menace if an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Probably build around that too.
Yep. Next up, we got Missy. Is 3 in Grixis, blue, black, red, for a 4/5 legendary creature, Time Lord Rogue. Whenever another artifact creature dies, or whenever another non-artifact creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control, face down and tapped, It's a 2/2 Cyberman artifact creature. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent faces a villainous choice. Each artifact creature you control deals 1 damage to that opponent, or you draw a card and chaos ensues, which is the ultimate awesome symbol on the planar die. When you're playing Plane Chase.
Oh, that's what that is?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Plane Chase card?
Yes, but so basically you draw a card, or they take a damage for every artifact you control. And then if you're playing Plane Chase, chaos would also ensue.
Oh, okay. This is a pretty decent card. You keep making 2/2 Cybermans, and you get the villainous choice stuff. So pretty good. This is a good commander.
Yep.
Next we have the Rainy. It is also Grixis, and it is 4 mana with 1 red, 1 black, 1 blue, and 1 colorless. Legendary creature, 3/4. When the Rainy enters the battlefield or attacks, create a red or enchantment token named Mark of the Rainy attached to another target creature. That token has enchant creature and enchanted creature gets. The token has enchant creature and enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. Whenever a goaded creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, investigate. I like it because it has goad in it.
I hate goad.
And it's constantly making goad stuff.
I don't want it at all.
I'm gonna goad your whole board, dude.
Fine, you can play goad.
And I'm not gonna be. You can't attack me.
You can play goad, and I'm gonna play not goad.
We'll see who comes out on top.
Next up is the Veil Yard, 2 blue, black, red for a 4/5 legendary creature, Time Lord Noble. If an opponent would face a villainous choice, they face that choice an additional time, and while voting, you may vote an additional time.
Hell yeah, I like that card. Dude, that card could even work well with Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's unique. That's cool. Stats fit well too. All right. Next we have Alistair the Brigadier. It is a 4 mana. We have blue, white, green, and colorless legendary creature, Human Soldier. He is a 3/3. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Whenever Alistair attacks, you may pay 8 colorless. If you do, creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of historic permanents you control.
So you pay 8 to Crater Hoof?
Yep.
Because you're going to only play historic cards, probably.
Yeah, and you get to keep creating 1/1 soldiers then, so that's not bad.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, especially with the pay 8, then it's just a beat stick, you know?
Yep.
Not bad at all.
Next up, we got Me, the Immortal. It is 2 Antimer, which is green, blue, red for a 3/3 human rogue. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put your choice of a +1/+1, first strike, vigilance, or menace counter on Me, the Immortal. Counters remain on Me as it moves to any zone other than a player's hand or library. And you may cast Me from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other costs.
Not bad.
So it keeps its counters forever.
Yep. You may cast Me from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other costs. That's great.
Yep. And that means it'll even keep the counters if it gets put back in the command zone.
Yeah. This is definitely a build around card.
It's pretty sweet.
Yep. Next we have Kate Stewart. We have 1 colorless, 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 white legendary creature, Human Scientist. It's a 3/3. Whenever you put 1 or more time counters on a permanent you control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Whenever Kate Stewart attacks, you may pay 8. If you do, attacking creatures get +X, where X is the number of time counters among permanents you control. All right, another Crater Hoof style creature.
Yeah.
Whenever you put 1 or more time counters on a permanent you control. Yeah, that's definitely a build around.
Yeah.
Not as strong as that last one, but
yeah, not as strong.
Pretty cool. Oh, this is a good one.
Next up, we got the Face of Bo. 1 blue, red, white for a 0/4 legendary creature, Alien Advisor. It has tap. You may cast a spell with suspend from your hand. If you do, pay its suspend cost rather than its mana cost. Activate only as a sorcery. But that
And it's
makes like visions become recall.
yeah, that makes Visions become recall. That is a very, very good card. Face of Bow.
Because all the cards that have suspend, usually the regular mana cost is way higher.
It's true. All right, we got artifacts right now. And we have Ace's Baseball Bat. It is a 2-mana legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+0. As long as the equipped creature is attacking, it has first strike and must be blocked by a Dalek if able. Equipped to legendary creature is 1, otherwise the equip cost is 3. Don't mind this card. It's not like super amazing.
I mean, +3/+0 and first strike's not bad.
No, and especially on a legendary creature if you're playing it on your commander.
Yeah.
Yep, not bad.
Next up, we got Bessie, the Doctor's Roadster. It is 2 for a 3/4 legendary artifact vehicle with haste. Whenever Bessie attacks, another target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. It has crew 2.
Not bad. 2 mana with a 3/4 haste, and crew 2 is pretty easy to do, so
Yep.
very good. Yep.
And you can make a legendary creature unblockable.
Yeah. Yep. Next we have Clara Oswald. It's a 6 colorless legendary creature human advisor. It's a 2/6 impossible girl. If Clara Oswald is your commander, choose a color before the game begins. Clara Oswald is the chosen color. Interesting. If a triggered ability of a doctor you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. It also has Doctor's Companion. Very interesting. I like it.
I like it too, because basically you can just add any color you want to a doctor deck.
Yep. It enables the 3 or 4 color doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of those doctors are 2 colors, and so you can make it a 3rd color.
Yep. Or if they're a 3-color one, you can make it a 4-color.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and next up we got the Confession Dial. It is 3-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you surveil 3, and then tap target legendary creature card in your graveyard gains escape until end of turn. The escape cost is equal to its mana cost plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard, which you just could have just put in your graveyard with the surveil.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Legendary creature card in the graveyard gains escape. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, you get to play other cards, and it's colorless, so you can put that in any deck. So.
Yep. Anything you're gonna want to reanimate some legendaries for?
Yeah. Next we have Cyberman Squadron. It is a 7 colorless 5/5 artifact creature. Cyberman. Non-legendary artifacts you control have Myriad. It's very good.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
Yeah, that's actually nuts. You can tell just by the price too.
Well, yeah, I mean, my Blight Steel. Oh, is that legendary Blight Steel?
No.
Yeah, so
yeah, Blight Steel's legendary.
Okay, but Dark Steel's not.
I don't think so.
Or is it the other way around? Or neither? It might neither be legendary.
Mm-hmm. Blight Steel is not legendary.
Yeah. So I attack. Now everybody has one coming in.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Merbaus.
Dude, even if you put in what's the artifact guy that's a 2/2 that when it comes into play you look for a land.
Oh, Solemn.
You draw a card when it dies. Yeah, even Solemn is good with that.
Yeah, you just attack, you get a bunch of lands.
And then you get a bunch of lands, and if they block, you get to draw a bunch of cards. That's a good card. Wow. That's gonna be a wannabe. That's a buy. Even though it costs 7, I still think it's worth it. And it is a creature, so it kind of has some drawbacks in that regard, but it's still good.
I mean, it copies itself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It does. Just attacking. Dude.
I don't think Myriad stacks, though, does it? For each instance
no.
I wouldn't think so.
No, I do not think so. No. Cybership 6. Wait, did I read the last one?
I don't know. Probably. Cybership, 6 mana, 8/8. Artifact vehicle at flying. Whenever Cybership deals combat damage to a player, put the top 2 cards of that player's library onto the battlefield face down under your control. They become 2/2 Cybermen. And it has crew 4.
Well, for crew 4, it's pretty good.
It's an
Costs 6
8/8
though.
flying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And it has flying, so
it's
yeah,
an 8/8 flyer that makes Cybermen.
it's pretty good. All right, next we have. This is a good card. River Song's Diary. Imprint. When a player casts an instant sorcery spell from their hand, exile it instead of putting it into the graveyard as it resolves. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more cards exiled with River Song's Diary, choose one of them at random. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Dude, that card's nuts.
That's good.
Exile it instead of dude, that shuts all storm decks off. Your opponents. Like, you can't play from the graveyard because it's exiled.
Right.
And at the beginning of your upkeep,
I mean, when you cast, they all go
cards.
back to the graveyard, but yeah.
Whenever a player casts an instant sorcery spell from their hand, exile it instead of putting it into the graveyard.
But like once you have 4,
Yeah. That's really good
it's
card
still
though.
really freaking good. It's like basically you get a free instant sorcery every time there's 4 or more cards under it.
Wow. Me gusta. It only costs 3. That's really good.
Next up, we have the rotating Fireplace, 3 mana artifact. Enters the battlefield with tapped with a time counter on it. You can tap, add amount of mana equal to the number of time counters on rotating Fireplace. You can pay 4, tap it to time travel, activate it as a sorcery, which is you can remove or add a time counter. So you could add time counters to this and take it off something else.
Oh wow. Okay.
To make this add for more mana.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not super good, but I like the ability to pay 4, tap it into time travel.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's definitely
good.
going to be a staple for the suspend decks.
And later, this is going to add a shitload of waste.
I need a minute for the baby real quick.
Okay. All right, what's the next card?
The next card we have is the Moment. It's a 2 mana legendary artifact, 2 colorless. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on the Moment. Pay 2 colorless and untap target creature you control. It phases out until the Moment leaves the battlefield. Pay 3 colorless, tap it, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the number of time counters on the Moment. Then sacrifice the Moment. Activate only as a sorcery. Let's see. Untap target creature you control. It phases out until the Moment leaves the battlefield. So each non-land equal to the number of time counters on it. Sacrifice the Moment. Seems a little too complex to be doing that very much.
I mean, basically, you can phase out your own stuff and then blow up the board.
Mm-hmm. That seems a little slow.
Yeah, it's kind of like a ratchet bomb type card.
Right. Yep, for sure. All right.
Next up is the lands. Did we get through all the artifacts?
No, there's still Trenzalore Clock Tower. Oh, it's a land. Oh my god, it looked like an artifact to me.
Okay. Trenzalore Clock Tower, legendary land. Tap, add a blue, put a time counter on it. Pay 1 and a blue, remove 12 time counters from it, exile it, shuffle your graveyard and hand into your library, draw 7 cards. Activate only if you control a Time Lord.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of work for that.
Well,
12.
I mean, you just got to tap it for mana, and you get a counter on it. It's not like
It's true, so you just got to wait 12 turns. Yeah, and maybe it'll proliferate, help it a little along, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty good if you have a Time Lord.
Yep.
Which I'd assume you would. So, okay, we have the next card here. The last card, right?
Yep.
We have Gallifrey Council Chamber. Gallifrey Council Chamber. Legendary land. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. It has tap for a colorless or tap for 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a Time Lord or alien spell or activate an ability of a Time Lord or alien. It's pretty decent. It has to go in those decks.
Yep. Wasn't the TARDIS a card?
You know what? I was wondering when we were going to get that. Yeah, we're missing the TARDIS, bro. There's also plain.
Oh, it's not a mythic, that's why. Or rare.
It's just an uncommon?
Yeah.
Well, that's why.
Okay, well, that's all the rares and mythics in the set.
It seems like a very interesting set. There's a lot of bad cards, but there's some pretty good cards. I think my favorite card from the set would be Me the Immortal, honestly.
That's a pretty cool card. I really like the Face of Bow for the time counter thing.
Yep.
Maybe I'll try building around that. We'll see.
Yeah, I also like that 2 mana clone with Vanishing.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, yep.
You gonna pick up this set or anything?
I might pick up a few cards. Like I said, the Me the Immortal. I'm gonna be buying singles though. I don't really buy the packs. So,
well, if anybody wants to pick up cards, don't forget you can use our TCG Player affiliate link. It's in the show notes. There's also a link in our Discord and on our website, mtgplace.net.
check it out.
Yeah, but until next time, we'll catch you later.
Catch you later.